Okay, we are live. Welcome back to the watch alongs, the watch parties. Welcome everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We've had a nice long break from Nets basketball, but we're back at it. For another big contest between the Nets and the Hawks. It is the Nets who are sitting in ninth. I believe the Hawks are neighbours in 10th. With one less win from the same amount of games. So this is going to be a really entertaining match. The last time these two teams played, we know the results. It wasn't a good one for us. But both teams are going to be refreshed. They have not been involved in the in-season tournament. So, yeah, the Hawks, I mean, it's going to be an interesting sort of game today. I mean, we've got Dorian Finney-Smith back. That aside, nothing has really changed. Lonnie Walker is still out, and Ben Simmons is also still out. So, those are the only two players who are on the injury report for the Nets. And then the Hawks, well, they're missing Jalen Johnson long term, who started the last time we played him, and in his place now is Sadiq Bey. Maybe we won't give up 1,000 points this time. Well, hopefully. I mean, we've sort of improved, sort of haven't. It's sort of, yeah, I don't really know what Nets team we're going to get today, because like every time we play Orlando, we look like the number one seed in the East. And then when we play the Charlotte Hornets, we look like the 15th seed in the East. So, yeah, it's I don't know. This team is hella inconsistent, and their players, like the players, sort of embody that. Interesting stat today, is that the Hawks have, well, every time Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, the twins, have played the Hawks, they have lost. They have not won, one game, in Atlanta in their entire career. So I don't know if that's a bad omen or not, or it's saying that today is going to be the day that we break that streak. But you know, I think there was an interesting quote the other day, and I sort of picked this up on the broadcast when we were doing the watch along. Mikal Bridges looked to have a little bit of feistiness about him, and Cam Johnson talked about that in an interview, saying that basically, you know, Mikal's got that extra yard of pace about him when, you know, he's a little bit extra fired up. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Bridges can back up his performance. I mean, granted, 34 points in a half is the best that any player has mustered up this season, and with good reason, because it's hard to do, and he's not going to do that again. But last time he played Atlanta, he scored 40. It was an overtime game, of course. But then, you know, he's just coming off a 40-point game as well. And he's averaging 27 points in his last 10. That is a really important stat. And it is probably boosted by the two 40-point games he's had in that time. But that being said, the consistency of him scoring more than 20 has been far more, well, it's been much improved. It's all about matchups. I mean, yeah, matchups is a big thing. It's a big thing. Yeah, so I'm trying to see. There's some other interesting stats as well, or interesting comments. Cam Thomas apparently he talked about on GQ, I think it was, that the coaches now appreciate his work on the defensive side of the ball, and I can see that. That is where my appreciation for Cam Thomas has come from. Because the scoring was one thing, but once he could lift defensively, it's turned him into a far better player. No longer a liability. You can afford to play him in any lineup. It's not just the lineups where perhaps, you know, other players in the 5-man unit can sort of offset his shortcomings by making up because they're good defensively. Now he can hold his own, and it doesn't really matter who's on the court with him. Um, the next step for him is going to be developing that facilitation side of the game. And even though he shot the ball hella inefficiently against Orlando, um, he had 7 rebounds, 5 assists. So that's a good sign as well. It's going to be really, I'm really interested to see if we see any more developments, if we see more consistent 5 assist games, because he's never had more than 6 dimes in a game, I do believe. So it's going to be interesting to see if he just gets involved offensively a little bit more, but he's sort of the connector in those sequences where we're swinging it around the court. I've just seen a stat here on my feed as well. Spencer Dinwiddie is averaging 12 points per 100 possessions to Brooklyn's offense, which ranks in the 97th percentile among NBA players. So Spencer doesn't get enough credit for what he does. Excellent in isolation. His facilitation's been good. He doesn't really turn the ball over. Obviously, he jacks up some bad shots, and that immediately throws everything good he does under the bus. But, I mean, that stat that I've just read yet again indicates that this guy is nothing but a positive to our team. So, yeah, I mean, there's some really interesting sorts of narratives that you can take away from the stats, and then obviously the discourse surrounding our team. I want to hear your thoughts. I've sort of asked this question already thus far this season, but I do want to hear your thoughts on what the season has looked like for you. Are you happy with the start? Are you content? Are you, really encouraged? Are you discouraged? Is there something that's concerning to you? Personally, I think that everything that we didn't expect to happen is happening, and the things that we did expect to happen aren't happening. Did we expect this team to be a superb rebounding team in comparison to other teams in the competition? No. Did we anticipate that this team was going to shoot the ball well with Ben Simmons out after after we saw how good Ben was at pushing the pace? No, I did not anticipate the offense to remain stabilized. Did I anticipate Cam Thomas to have this much of a leap? No. Did I expect the defense to be this bad? No. But the good thing is, the offense is flourishing when we can't see where the offense is coming from. Well, we can, but there's a little bit of reservation about it. And the players we have, there is a potential for it to dip. The good thing is this team, the personnel are known for defense, and they're not defending well at the moment. So if they can lift that part of their game, which they are more than capable of doing, with the offense remaining in a good spot, then we're set to go, man. We are going to look all the goods. We'll show you the lineups as well. I'm going to hide the injury report because that has been shown enough times. There's the starting 5 for the Nets. Same starting 5 as the previous game. Dorian Finney-Smith is back, but he'll come off the bench for the first time in a long time. And then the opposing lineups, I don't know why it's not very aligned, but you can see it's Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Sadiq Bey, Dejounte Murray, and Clint Capella. Last time we played the Hawks, I remember distinctly we had 20 offensive rebounds, but also gave up 20. So you sense that could be a big part of the way the game goes today. Shit, I don't even have the scoreboard up. I've got to really hustle here because game's about to start and I don't have anything ready. I'm an idiot. Okay. We're going to speed run this. Let me just get that up. Get that up. Come on. Okay, and I don't even have the headphones set up. That's poor. That is poor form from me. Just got to turn it on. There we go. Okay. Headphones in. Nice. Okay. And it's underway. I don't know who is commentating, by the way. Let me just get that screen up as well. I'm in a little bit of a mess, to be honest, to start this stream. I mean, we've had 4 days off, and I've well and truly gotten into relaxation mode. Sort of lagging a little bit. Myself, not the actual screen. Don't get it twisted. Alrighty. So play resumes after there was a foul on the floor. Hunter, I swear, was fouled, but he just lost the ball. And now we've got a fast break opportunity. Johnson is ready to shoot, and it's off. Rebound by the Hawks. Mikal probably gave it away because he was trying to chase it up, and that would have given the referees the impression it was off us. So, Young, oh my god, that is such an easy roll. And it's a foul +1. That was incredibly easy. So first points of the game go the way of the Hawks. And that was pretty pitiful defense because no one followed the roller and then no one picked up Hunter under the basket. So it's going to be an easy make for Hunter. And it's a 3-0 lead for the Hawks in this first quarter. We are barely a minute in. There is like no one at the Hawks game. Claxton. Johnson on the wraparound. And now Dinwiddie will shoot a 3 over Young. And you knew that was off the minute he shot it. So Murray the rebound. And now swings it across to Hunter, who drives over Claxton for 2. And Hunter caused problems last time we played him. 23, I believe he scored. So not ideal there. Bridges will drive and get held up under the basket. He kicks it out to CJ, and for 3, that's good as well. I say as well as if we've been making 3s for days, but that is our first bucket of the game, and a response is no good by Sadiq Bey, who shot that one very early in the shot clock. Bridges in rhythm for 3. That's good. And the Twins get on the board. 2 threes between them, and 2 threes account for all our points. We have a lead after conceding the first 5. Sadiq Bey for 3. The response is good. And already we have 14 points inside 2 minutes between both teams. So I beg we don't give up 145 points like last time. The Hawks defense is ass, but we should be better defensively ourselves. Come on, man. Hunter will drive down the middle. Bit of a bump. That's good defense by CJ. Got to get the rebound. Clax gets a vital hand to it, and now Cam Thomas will push the pace. Bridges, Johnson in front of the Hawk bench. He knocks down another 3, and we have scored all our points in the early going from the outside, and CJ has 2 of those 3-pointers. Murray, bit of a body bump. The nice little step back push shot, if that's even a thing, is scored on the baseline for Murray. So both teams started well. Cam Thomas on the outside. It's knocked away by Murray, who's giving him some heavy attention. Blitzes him, and it is a backcourt violation. It was nearly chalked down to be a turnover in the open floor, but luckily they've called a backcourt violation, and it's a dead ball it's a dead ball turnover, but yeah, it's a backcourt violation, and that's, I believe, our first turnover of the game. Young maneuvers into the paint, and he scores very, very easily. Sheltered the ball quite well. Had Claxton a bit indecisive whether to contest that or not. Cam Thomas will go down the middle, and he's blocked by Clint Capella, and it's going to be Hawks ball because Cam Thomas stood on the sideline. So that's pretty smart work by Clint Capella there at the positioning. Cam Thomas nearly deflected it out of play. Or, well, he did deflect it out of play. Nearly got the turnover. So I think the key to win this one is going to be defense. That is where we looked incredibly exposed last time out. So we really can't afford to be turning the ball over. Really cannot afford it. Saddiq Bey's open for another three. I don't know what Cam Thomas is doing. Barely impacting the interior, just allowing open threes. And this is no surprise to us. Claxton? Oh my god, how did he even get a shot up? Looked like a very unnatural sort of layup attempt. It was a foul on Clint Capella. Claxton will go to the line for two. Good little roll there. And he actually nearly got it to go. So good attack by Clax. And these free throws are going to be important, especially if you're turning the ball over early. The first free throw is good. And he just looks much improved from this spot. I mean, I don't know about you if you've seen the free throw routine. He doesn't miss too many. At least that has been the trend for this season. So, good signs early in the season for Claxton at the free throw line. I don't know what he's shooting, but I reckon it's about 65 to 70%. The second one rims out. So, a little bit less luck there. I was probably hyping him up a little too much. But I gave him the commentator's curse. Trae Young on the outside will drive, and the runner is off. Bridges the board. It's a 5-on-4 because Young is still remaining on the ground. We don't really capitalize on this, do we? Dinwiddie, Bridges, Johnson, and now it's a 5-on-5. Young got back, and we looked a little bit disjointed trying to find the open man. Claxton the roll, backs down Capella, puts up a shot, and that is off. So probably not a high percentage look. He looked in a little bit of an uncomfortable shooting situation there. Dinwiddie, good contest, then forces the miss by Murray at the elbow. And now Bridges will get a high screen from CJ, who gets it on the pop. And he's going to pick up his dribble. So we slow things down. 11 to shoot. Dinwiddie one-on-one with Trae. Dinwiddie's going to back him down. And he just lost the ball. It's not going to be deemed a foul. Murray behind the back. Saddiq Bey, the good take, and 2 points for him. 17 points for the Hawks in 5 minutes. Dinwiddie into the paint again. He'll shoot off the window this time. Doesn't get the bounce. Claxton does fight on the boards. Capella nearly walked, but he'll get it to Trae Young. So a good start for Atlanta, and that is a deep three, which is off. Bey gets the rebound, and Spencer just didn't even bother trying to chase up that board. Very, very lucky. We gave that up. Cam Johnson takes it all the way to the rack, and it is back down a 5. CJ has started superbly well in this contest. Murray will kick it out to Trae Young, who missed that pretty audacious three-point attempt. Oh, come on. What sort of a foul is that? No one calls those. The amount of fouls that are called like that, or the amount of situations like that which are let go is, like, I can tell you for sure, you can't count them on 2 hands. Why are they calling those fouls, man? Daniel Berry, welcome to the stream, buddy. Who's going to be on your spotlight bar today? It's going to be, what was I going to say? Mikal Bridges is back on there because I figure he's got to back up his 42-point performance, doesn't he? What does that mean, the 97th percentile? It basically means, well, he's higher than 97% of players in a certain field. If you're in the 99th percentile, you're in the top 1%, essentially. All right. Let's have a look at the box score to see how things are going early on. So, voice crack. Wow. Man, I hate having breakfast before these streams, dude. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. Man, alright. So this is what we're dealing with early on. You can see the box score stats thus far. Bridges has a 3 and a couple of assists, a couple of rebounds. He's had that nice little bit of connection with CJ. who's got 8 and is leading the way. The problem is inside the line, we're 1 of 7, despite shooting the ball pretty well from 3. And then for the Hawks, Sadiq Bey's got 8, and Hunter's got 5. So the backcourt haven't really been involved in the early going. The reason the Hawks lead is because of their shooting, especially inside the arc. And I suspect I could see before the timeout, Dorian Finney-Smith was waiting on the bench, so perhaps that added level of physicality is probably something that's going to benefit us. And an interesting thing to point out as well is the last time we played the Hawks, we did not have Dennis Smith Jr. And we know DSJ on the perimeter, I believe POA, point of attack, defending. Dennis Smith is superb in that field. And for players like Trae Young, those sort of abilities are going to be incredibly important. So that's a matchup we didn't have the luxury of being able to use and exploit, but I do think DSJ minutes when like Trae Young is playing against our bench, I think that is going to be a matchup that we well and truly need to take advantage of and sort of thrive off of. DSJ had a great game last game. Dayron is in. He is guarding a Kongwu who was just checked in. That's thrown out of bounds. And I thought that was... I could have sworn that was off the Hawks and they just threw it out of play, but it's going to be Hawks ball on the baseline. So Dayron's in. Clax has gone to the bench at the 6:18 mark, so you can't really pick when he's going to go to the bench. Bogdanovic on the baseline scores for 2, and I don't think I'm a real fan of that matchup. Dinwiddie just defensively, he actually looks like he's getting cooked more than Cam Thomas these days. Johnson, oh my goodness! The guy is a bucket today. He's got 11. Like, he's just got a proper good shooting stroke today. Bro, what is Spencer doing? He is getting lost on defense, man. If we want to hold a player accountable for defense, Dinwiddie is getting spit roasted on the outside. Oh my god, man. And now a turnover because Dayron can't set a screen correctly. Let's have a look at the offensive foul. Bro, come on. That's barely a fucking hit. I can't be asked. I don't really know what an illegal screen is these days. Like, I don't know what warrants an illegal screen, but... Murray, this is decent defense, though. Johnson staying with Hunter, and he puts up a brick. I mean, it didn't even hit the rim. That's great defense by the Nets. Dinwiddie will drive, and the layup is off. Dayron fought on the glass, but unfortunately, it's gone off, I believe, his shoulder. And it is another miss for the Nets. So, I'm not too fussed with the kinds of shots we're taking. They are a lot more contested. Good defense by Dayron, who met Hunter at the rim. It looked like he had a window of opportunity there to get the dunk, but Dayron with the contest. Bridges just lost the ball, and then Hunter You're kidding me! Bro, what is the difference between Hunter not being able to control a basketball and Mikal? It's the same shit. I don't know where they've plucked that foul from. Let's have a look. You're kidding me. There was a light brush at best, and because he's fallen over, they've called a foul. So, fair to say the offense has looked fairly disjointed, but the defense, if we compare it to the previous meeting, has looked a lot better. There's been a few open looks, but much improved. Cam Johnson with a strong rebound, and he's going to bring it up himself. Johnson, out to Bridges for 3, and it's good! +1! Let's go, lads. Let's fucking go. Oh, hang on. Mikal's a little sore. And I think they're going to review this for a flagrant because Mikal looks a little bit ginger getting up. It took him a little extra, like, bit of sort of force to get up. Like, he needed to use a little bit more effort. Let's have a look at the closeout by Murray. Well, he is in the landing room, but... Well, I think it's just going to be an extra shot. If this is converted to a flagrant, what a big play, because he's hit the 3. He's also going to get the free throw, and then he's going to get the flagrant free throws. Or sorry, he's going to get the flagrant free throws, but then we'll have the ball as well. So I don't know what they're going to deem as a flagrant, or what they look at, but I mean, you could see it happening. I'm not 100% sure, though, what they're going to call this. It's one of those ones, it could go either way. Having a little discussion, the referees. Let's hear the call. It's upgraded. So it's a reckless closeout. So we're going to get the 3 shots. We're going to get the free throws, and then we're going to get the ball. This could be a huge 1-possession sequence for the Nets. So a flagrant for Murray. Then, I believe... Okay, so Mikal Bridges is going to get 2 free throws, but he's only going to have the ability to make one of them. And then we're going to get possession. So this could be a 7-point play, which is fucking hilarious, by the way. We could literally let the... Well, he makes the free throw, so now we're going to get it from the side. Because he had 2 shots to make 1. And now if we make a 3, it is a 7-point play. A 7-point play, lads. Bridges inbounds it to Sharp. They're looking for Bridges. They give it to Finney-Smith instead, who will drive it. Spin. That's a wild layup attempt. Dayron followed it up, tried to put one up. Dayron followed it up again, and then tried a little cut or a little bounce pass backdoor to Finney-Smith, but that was well and truly cut off. There was absolutely no daylight for that pass to get to the net. Murray is blocked by Bridges. Dayron wasn't even looking at the ball. It somehow landed with the Nets. Johnson and Finney-Smith, and now Bridges. High screen Sharp. Johnson. Corner for Dinwiddie. Good ball fake. One more for Johnson. The 3 at the wing. It's off. Dayron the board. And he is fouled. I believe it may have been going up. Why have I not started the clock? It's 3 minutes 43, should I say, remaining in this first quarter. That rebound before came off Dayron's head. He wasn't even looking at it. That's got to be some... That's got to be something not in the textbook, I would imagine. No, they just practice those in training. Don't look at the ball. Let it bounce off your head. DSJ's in. He's let the afro unleash today. He doesn't have the braids. So interesting bringing him in when Murray is off. I imagine that's who he's going to pick up, which he does. Dayron splits a pair. Wesley Matthews is into the game for the Hawks. Good defense by Dennis. Bogdanovic on the perimeter. That's far too easy navigating through the screen. The push shot is good. And even though Dorian Finney-Smith was there, he was always trailing the pack. And now it's the Nets who trail by 4. On offense, Bridges, great pass to O'Neal, who hits the 3 wide open, and Bridges with the find. He had attracted multiple defenders. That's just excellent facilitation. Murray, back out to Matthews, and now Garrison Matthews, knocked away by DSJ. The Nets in transition. Dennis, alley-oop! Oh, that was a shit pass. And then Dennis got the rebound after the Mikal miss on the alley-oop. and he was fouled going up. So we're going to get a timeout, but the Nets have a chance to take the lead, and that's a good stop by Dennis. That's what you have him in the game for. All right. Let's have a look in the chat. Breakfast is the worst meal of the day. I never have it. I love scrambled eggs, though. I'm a cereal kind of guy, but when you're speaking for too much time over a prolonged period, it is no fun when you've just had a bowl of cereal. Usually an illegal screen is when you move while setting up the screen. I swear sometimes, though, they just run into you, and it's just called a foul. An offensive foul, and you're like, well, where was the foul? Like, everything is adjudicated by the referees, and sometimes the adjudication is incredibly wrong. Simon, welcome to the stream. I do believe you're new, so thanks for joining us today. Is a 7-point player record? Well, I'd like to see what a record is. Like, you'd have to have 2 flagrants in one sequence. Profit PR, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well up in Puerto Rico. Love that place, even though I've never been there. It's just good to say. Baked Zito, welcome to the stream, buddy, as well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, those who are new to the stream, I hope you're enjoying the coverage. This is just regulation. This always happens. Just like this, we always check the box score at every timeout as much as we can, and we update a player in the spotlight, their stat line. Mikal's had a really, really good start to this game. He's got a block to his name to go with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 threes. Cam Johnson also doing well. So those 2 twins have started excellently. They've combined for 18 of our 23. And we heard pregame, or I was talking pregame about the fact these 2 have never won in Atlanta. So these 2 are obviously, well, they're on a mission. They are well and truly on a mission. So it's going to be essential that, you know, they, well, they're going to be a big part in our opportunities at winning the game today. Sharp with solid offensive rebound energy. I mean, it doesn't really surprise me. I don't know how we got there. It doesn't really surprise me. The guy's a great rebounder. He's in, like, the top percentage of offensive rebounders in the league, and he barely plays, so... yeah. We are in the final 3 minutes, though. The Nets, I believe, were fouled going up, and it was Dennis who was the victim. So, it'll be... yeah, Dennis at the free throw line. We can retake the lead with 2 makes. He makes the first one, and we're now tied at 24. We were down by 7 before the 4-point play by Mikal Bridges. So a nice little 9-2 run. We can make it 10-2 with the make, and Dennis Smith does an excellent job of doing that. It's a 10-2 run, and I'm excited about this matchup. Trae Young is being picked up by Dennis. No fucking way. This bullshit bailout crap. I'm sick of this, man. This happened in the previous meeting as well. Trae Young is an absolute goof when he tries to draw fouls, like that one. Mate, Dennis, I'm really excited to see this matchup. This is what I've been waiting for, because Dennis is primed for these sorts of matchups on players like Trae Young, who are absolutely, like, really pesty on the offensive side of the ball. They're really jammy. So defensive players like Dennis, he can potentially cut these ones off that Trae Young likes to draw. And I think it's not just that. It's going to be the fact that he's going to make Trae incredibly frustrated if everything is made difficult. Bridges, O'Neal, ball fake, pass, Dennis, Dayron takes a dribble, fouled +1. And that is excellent ball movement by the Nets. It was clean. It was very visually appealing to the eye. Royce to Dennis, Dennis to Dayron. 1 dribble in those 3 passes. And obviously you keep defenses guessing, constantly moving. And And, well, obviously, Okongwu was the last line of defense and had to overcommit. That is another miss by Dayron. Man's got to go into the lab and just practice his free throws. He's 1 of 3 now. To start the season, like, he was good from the line, but once the volume has increased, it's sort of gotten a little bit off the rails with that higher volume, given he gets more minutes now. And it's good that he gets to the free throw line as a big man, but if you're going to get there, you've got to absolutely punish the opposition. This has been a good fight back by the Nets. Trae Young just threw that ball out of bounds, looking for Bogdanovic on the other side of the court. The Nets can extend the lead. Bridges had the ball knocked away by Matthews. And it's going to be... don't know who. Let's have a look. That was well and truly off Mikal. It was never, ever... wait. Is it a foul? What the hell's going on here? That is pretty criminal. That was off the Nets every day of the week, and they've called it Nets ball. Bridges somehow got a shot up. Oh, brother, what a joke of a foul again, man. This has been one of the more frustrating quarters to watch this season. Not for the fact we're playing poorly, but because of all the stoppages and the fouls being called. Dayron's now got 2 personals to his name. Bogdanovic will shoot 2 free throws after he got nudged over trying to get a rebound. I think it's more because I say this a lot of the time whenever soft fouls are called. I say, well, I've watched contact sports growing up, and I'm sort of accustomed to players being tougher and being absolutely cleaned up, but then getting back up. Whereas these guys, they get slightly nudged and get rewarded for it. Like, that's where the frustration arises for me, I do think. It's a 1-point lead for the Hawks. How is that not a foul? Thank you. Matthews was... well, he had basically latched on to Bridges there, and Bridges was trying to receive the handoff on the wraparound, but there was a little bit of a hold up there, a little bit of a tangle. It will be 2 more free throws, and this time it's to Bridges. And fair to say, this first quarter has lasted a lot longer than I would have expected. It is now tied at 28. It's fair to say, though, that this is an incredibly improved performance on the previous meeting against the Hawks. We conceded 45 points in the first quarter against Atlanta last time, and I mean, this has been a much better start. This gives us, well, a much better platform for the rest of the game. We didn't give ourselves that opportunity the first time we played them. We were chasing tail the whole game. Bogdanovic nearly lost it out of bounds. He was a little bit unsuspecting for that Trae Young pass. Bay passes it down low. Okongwu misses the push shot, and O'Neal with a strong rebound. I don't think those words have ever been said. Finney-Smith thought about the 3. He'll give it to Dayron and back out to Dennis. The high screen. O'Neal. No space to shoot that. He's going to give it back to Dennis. Take on Trae. Go on. Oh, that's a hop step. He kicks it back out to O'Neal. And there's a foul. And that's another bailout. 5 seconds to shoot it. And Bogdanovic was called for the foul on Dennis as he went up. And that is very undisciplined stuff. So Dennis free throws again. The first one is good again. So these will be his 3rd and 4th free throws. Cam Thomas returns, and I believe Bridges has gone to the bench. So that one rattles in for Dennis, and he's had a really good start to this match. He's had a good little stretch since he's returned. Well, he's only had 2 games, a quarter and a half, really, or not even a quarter and a half. Trae Young misses a 3, got his own long rebound. That is another joke of a foul, bro. What are you supposed to do there? Just let him fucking bypass you and score the layup. Mate, what the fuck is that? That's already 3 fouls on Dayron, and they've been 3 of the most, like they're not even, like, the bumps Trae Young has gotten equate to one actual proper bump. Like, he's gotten like 3 or 4 nudges, which probably are the same equivalent in force to one proper hip and shoulder bump. When you're fighting through a screen and you just plow someone over. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. I don't really know how you're supposed to defend the guy, and the referees keep rewarding him for it. It's fucking ridiculous. Claxton to O'Neal. Cam Thomas will retrieve. He's doubled, and it seems like that was the scouting instructions right there. What the fuck was that pass to Doe? Dennis Smith in the paint is going to lay it up, miss it, get his own rebound, swing it out to O'Neal. Top of the key 3 is off. Doe nearly chased up the offensive rebound, but it ends up in the lap of Trae Young. Knocked away by Dennis. And I cannot be asked. They have committed or called so many whistles on Trae. That one was probably there. But, like, this is ridiculous. Where's the foul there, man? I don't even know where the foul is. We did a really good job of keeping these players off the free throw line last time, but same cannot be said for this game. They've already had 8 free throws, made them all, but the Nets have been at the line 12 times, which is impressive. Cam Thomas had it knocked away by Matthews. That's the second time that's happened, where the assignment for Matthew's assignment has lost the ball on that dribble drive. We inbound it to Claxton. We'll get another crack at it with 8. Second difference between shot and game. Cam Thomas, how has he gotten that one up? It's good defense, and, well, Trae Young will hold for 1. And the worst, we can head into the second quarter trailing by 5. Trae Young, the pass to Matthews, ball fake, had O'Neal in the air, so gave him a taste of his own medicine, but it was off. And that is quarter time, 33-31 the score. It's actually, well, I don't really know what to take away from this first quarter, but the Sixers are losing to the Wizards. Wow. When do you think we will call up Jalen, Noah Clowney, and Derek Whitehead from the G League team? I think Jalen Wilson is ready. He had 9 threes in the G League game a couple of days ago. What's the score, mate? You can see it there, 33-31. So yeah, it's tough. Like, we have all these players that deserve minutes. Harry Giles included in that mix as well. Like, you can't give everyone minutes. As much as we'd like to, we can't give everyone minutes. And today, I mean, like, Dorian Finney-Smith is coming off the bench, so I don't think we're going to see Trendon Watford minutes as much as we love the guy. And he's been playing really well this season. It's disappointing because I think he's a really good player, and I do think he's one of the better wings on the team because he can handle the rock and he's got a little bit more physicality. He can get into the interior and score the ball. Finney-Smith and O'Neal, they are 3-point threats, but once they get inside the line, they contribute to some really wild layup attempts. So that's a little bit infuriating to watch. But a pretty good first quarter, if you do ask me. We've gotten 9 points from Bridges. He's at a great first quarter, following up that 42-point performance about 4 days ago. Cam Johnson has started well as well, shooting the ball very efficiently. We've hit 6 threes on 9 shots, but we're shooting 35% from the field. Can you believe that? We have gotten to the line 12 times, so that is helping us a bunch in getting the 31 points that we've currently got. But, bro, 2 of 14 inside the line. That speaks volumes. I mean, Dinwiddie's 0 of 4, so he's usually a good gauge of how well we're going to play from inside the arc, and it's showing. Bridges hasn't scored on the interior. Claxton hasn't gotten the looks he would have liked. Cam Thomas hasn't scored a bucket, and he's a good driver as well. Bridges and Cam Thomas are shooting 55% or more on drives this season, and they both have not scored a field goal inside the arc. So I think that speaks, well, it speaks incredible volumes about the way the game's gone so far. The Hawks have got 9 from Trae Young, but he's gotten 5 free throws. It hasn't been easy for him, one bit. I like how we're making things really incredibly difficult for him. But that being said, already the 5 free throws, so that's not a great sign. Good skip pass to Finney Smith, who hits the 3 on the weak side, and it was a great find by Dennis, who had 6 dimes the last time we played. The Nets are 70% on threes, so they lead on the back of that, but they are shooting abysmally inside the line. Trae Young, the response, he airballed the 3. Finney Smith knocked away the offensive rebound attempt by Kongwu, and now the Nets will go the other way with a chance to get a decent enough lead, but nope. Cam Thomas turns it over, Saddiq Bey pickpockets it, and Dennis nearly got the chase down block, but Bey was always going to be the man higher up on the ledger with regards to having that advantage in that situation, and he capitalized on it. Cam Thomas, the spin, shoots over Trae Young, and that's off, and that's good defense by Trae. I'd get really hyped up if I was a Hawks fan there. Trae Young will try to lose O'Neal. He passes it away to Bogdanovic, who drives on the baseline. Capella, the push shot. Good rebound by Clax, and he'll give it to Dennis Smith. So DSJ, Clax, Cam Thomas, Finney Smith, O'Neal, 5 on the floor for the Nets. Good cut by Doe. Picks up his dribble and back out to Cam Thomas. Finney Smith. Dennis, dead to shoot the 3. Drove and kicked it out to Cam, who was wide open. He missed the 3, and a rebound for Saddiq Bey. So, man, Cam has had a really, really bad start offensively today. Bogdanovic, it's knocked away by Dennis. They kick it back out to Saddiq Bey, who's got O'Neal on him in an isolation. He shoots over the top, and that 3 is off. So, both teams cannot buy a bucket. Claxton, one-man offense. He blew the layup. He did everything right. But we recycle for another offensive set. Dennis picks up his dribble about 10 feet away. He kicked it out to Doe, the drive. Trae took the charge. And I think Finney Smith is arguing that Trae was inside the restricted area. Let's have a look if his suspicions are correct. Bro, Clax had the layup. He's done everything right. He just blew it. Bro, Trae was moving. He was falling away. I reckon you could have made a case that JV should have challenged that, but... Oh. We've got a turnover by Trae Young. I think he stood on the sideline. And now he's been here with the delay of game. So, Dennis to O'Neal. And now Finney Smith bounce passes it to Clax. Looking for the handoff. O'Neal into the paint. Great kick out. Whips it out to Finney Smith, who blew an open 3. I mean, you can't get much better than that bit of passing play by Royce O'Neal. Bey drives. Extra feed to Capella. Knocked away by O'Neal. Another stop. Another turnover for the Hawks. Bounce pass to Dennis. One more for O'Neal. Can you look at the fucking basketball, bro? Man thought his job was done. Mate, just because you passed the ball, the job isn't done, Royce. Dennis had the ability to acknowledge you were open under the basket, and you couldn't even acknowledge you were open under the basket. So it's going to be Nets ball. And it's Claxton who gives it to Cam Thomas. He's doubled again. Bro, they are defending Cam Thomas incredibly well. Everything is difficult for him. Cam had it knocked away again by Matthews. That's the 3rd time. Trae Young, the bounce pass to Matthews. And we have a foul. I struggled to say those words. But why should I struggle when we've already conceded like 15 fouls today? That's a sensible one, though, by O'Neal. Bro, Cam's got a lift. He has got a lift. And well, the thing is with Finney Smith and O'Neal back, you will run those guys on the bench. And it won't be surprising that you run him on the bench. But Cam Johnson's sitting on the side and he can't get a run in. And Bridges also is getting held back by these minutes. So it's going to be interesting to see how long we run with the bench. If Cam Thomas can't score, you've got to bring CJ and Bridges back in. So Cam Thomas to Dennis. Now Claxton with the screen. What a fucking bullet pass by Dennis. Jesus Christ, they nearly plowed Claxton over. And similarly to the feed by Dennis Smith to O'Neal, it looked like Clax wasn't really expecting it. I think he was expecting it, but not at that rapid pace. Dennis thought about the three. He's instead gone for the mid-range and he's hit it. So Dennis has actually been, and I'm not even saying this ironically, or sorry, sarcastically, I think Dennis has been our best guard today. Trae Young tries to draw that bullshit foul and he doesn't get it. Doe did well there and the refs weren't buying it. Dennis goes again. Ah! Let's go! The poster. The one-handed flush got right by Trae Young. He's been incredibly good today. Bogdanovic, the drive, good score over two. Claxton and Finney Smith were both there. But Bogdanovic just won better. Dennis again, they're looking for the lob, and Claxton nearly got it done, even though he didn't really have any business scoring that. Bogdanovic for three, and that is off. A rebound for Dennis, and Cam will, I believe, slow things down a little bit because we look a little bit in disarray at times with this offense. Thomas one-on-one. He's got Trae on him. Shoots a step-back three, and that hits back on, but Finney Smith gets the offensive board. The C's part, he's open, and he knocks it down from the top of the key, and the Nets have the lead back. It's 41-39, and we're looking decent. We're looking sharp. Cam doing too much? He's not even doing too much. The Hawks are applying a good defensive scheme. He's like Cam Thomas is getting the ball knocked away, and he's got two defenders, or he's got a help defender coming onto him. Every single time they try to pick and roll with Cam, the roll defender's actually blitzing Cam, and then Wesley Matthews is playing a bit of off-ball defense as well when there is just a one-on-one isolation. So, it's like Cam is getting everything thrown at him. And look, I think it's a good thing that we are winning even without Cam. Like, we saw this the last game. Like, we're still winning and we don't even have Cam scoring a point yet. The Hawks, the reason we're doing so well at the moment is because even though the free throws are being given away a fair bit, they are shooting it pretty poorly from the field and mostly from three. The thing that's really getting us going is the amount of turnovers we've forced. That was a real struggle in the first game. Saddiq Bey's been highly efficient for them, but Trae Young has gotten a bunch of his points from the free throw line and he's already turned it over a fair bit. But you can see really what is pushing the Nets over the line at the moment. The threes, the free throws, we're doing well there. The 7 offensive rebounds already. I'd like to see the rebound counter. It is 22-16 in our favor, which was also another area we were getting smashed in the first half when we played the Hawks. The only problem is Cam Thomas has 0 points. He's got more turnovers than anything else in the box score. And, like, bro, our backcourt in the starting lineup, man, 0 of 9. You include Claxton into that mix, and it becomes 0 of 12. But then you look at our bench and you say, well, the bench have done an incredibly good job. Finney Smith, in his 11 minutes, is a +9. He's got 6 points, 2 offensive rebounds. He's at 2 threes. He's the ultimate sort of glue guy one of those players that does his job well, and he's been doing a really good job at that this season. Very different to what could be said for him last year. And Dennis, bro, he's stuffing the stat sheet in his last 2 games. 8 points, 3 boards, 2 dimes, 1 steal, all in only 9 minutes. So he's providing some high quality, efficient minutes, even though he's not really on the court for long. It's like we're really seeing some good contribution from him. And Cam Thomas has gone to the bench, so they're going to try Dinwiddie out and see what... they're going to see if Dinwiddie can provide a little bit of extra spark. Dennis remains in, and rightfully so. Murray scores a tough shot at the elbow over Dennis. He's giving up a little bit of size. It is Dennis, Dinwiddie, O'Neal, Dayron, and Johnson. Dinwiddie maneuvers into the paint, but they cut it off. He's in a switch, though. He's got a Kongwu on him, and he's going to roll it out to Dennis. They got 7 to shoot. Dennis, the spin, the mid-range was basically an air ball, and the Hawks nearly fumbled it out of bounds, but they do get the rebound, so we're nearly at the halfway point of this second quarter. And it is all tied at 41. Good defense, O'Neal stayed with him, kept the attacker in front. Bogdanovic well short on a 3. And now O'Neal will send it to Johnson, who drives and is also held up. So, oh wow, Johnson was open for 3. Good ball fake. It opened up the deep 2 mid-range, and that was good. So Johnson, 5 of 7. Bridges getting ready to check back in for O'Neal. Good backdoor cut. Matthews blew the layup. Where is the foul there? I will probably change my perspective on that play when I see the replay, but that looked very phantom. And one of those ones that they call only because you blew the free throw. Or, sorry, the layup. He's got the free throws now. The first one for Matthews is good. All right. So second free throw for Matthews to tie the game yet again. That is good. So 43 apiece. Dayron is back in, playing on 3 fouls. The fuck? What's going on? I have absolutely no idea what just happened there, but they've made us inbound it from the side. Dinwiddie to Bridges, who's returned. Johnson had an open 3 for a minute. He's going to shoot it contested and miss it. I don't like that shot, even though he probably could have made it. Bogdanovic will keep on firing, and that one rims out. Chased up by Kongwu. Gives it out to Bogdanovic via a little bit of fortune. Murray to the corner for Okongwu, who shoots the 3, and that one is off. O'Neal the rebound, and it's sort of amazing we aren't leading. Bridges will drive, kick out. Dinwiddie on the weak side, wide open. You knew it was off. Dayron is fouled on the floor. The amount of times that Dayron gets fouled by anyone for that matter, as he's chasing up a rebound, is quite staggering. Trae Young's back in. So to close this half, the Hawks look like they're running their starting 5. We are running, O'Neal's back in. Why? O'Neal drives. Kick out to Dinwiddie. Gonna go baseline. Layup is good over the top for 2. Lead is back up to 2. It has been... I don't know who's got the largest lead in this game, but I can't imagine it's higher than the 7-point lead the Hawks had in the first quarter. Murray, good screen. Johnson was trailing. Got to get that board. Well done, Dayron. And the Nets can extend the lead some more. O'Neal will have a screen set by Dayron. O'Neal drives. You know every single day of the week that when he takes a layup, he's doing the very early release. It's just fucking shit, bro. Stop trying the layup. Murray just blew a layup, so both teams cannot score. Good running. Oh, my. Mate, that was basically going to be a cakewalk of a layup, but the pass was too saucy. Mikal fumbled it, and it just got away from him. So every time we have a chance to sort of consolidate a lead, we just blow it, man. And this is where the inconsistency seeps in. You got some good players, you got some shit. You've got players that have played well in some games and are not delivering right now. Trae Young, extra dump pass. Capella blew the dunk, and it's going to be free throws for Clint Capella. Looks like Finney Smith clipped him as he went up. This is going to be the interesting thing for Jacques Vaughn, because I remember, game one of the season was probably the last time we had this much of a healthy team. Still missing Lonnie Walker and Ben, of course, who definitely will warrant getting minutes coming back. But it's like, wow, Capella makes one of two. It's going to be interesting to see how the minutes are allocated. Like, JV's constantly bringing in Finney Smith, taking out O'Neal, bringing in Johnson, taking out Bridges. Like, it's... Oh, wow, that's a pinpoint pass by Bridges to Johnson. He couldn't score the midi. But yeah, like, I don't think there's a lot of stability in the rotations at the moment. Trae Young with a push shot, and I'm not a fan of this, man. Dinwiddie picking up Trae Young is probably just about the worst matchup you could get. Dinwiddie stops. Oh, wow. Trae Young wanted DeAndre Hunter to switch onto Dayron under the basket. That miscommunication was fully on show, as Dayron just had an open dunk. Dinwiddie with a nice little wraparound pass to identify the open man, and now Trae Young the scoop again, and that one doesn't go down. He doesn't get the bounce, and a rebound for Dinwiddie. So we've had a 1-point lead for a lot of this first, well, not for a lot of this first half, but for the last few minutes. We're going to get a timeout. But yeah, like, we've never had that opportunity. We've never had that opportunity to extend the lead, because we've always, like, turned it over or put up a bad shot or something like that. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, I want as many people to see this as possible. If you are new, make sure to subscribe as well if you are enjoying the coverage. We will be back without fail. I've got to get the brightness up on this camera right now. Yeah. Without fail, we do nearly every game. So, if you want to be present, make sure to subscribe so you're notified. We'll be back in a couple of days. As you can see, next game is the Wizards, and the next watch party is against the Wizards. So, there you go. This is the box score situation for the Nets at the moment. Mikal has not scored in this quarter. We somehow lead. It has not been a very convincing first half offensively. The bench has actually done bits for us, because 3 of our starting 5 have combined for 1 of 14 from the field. So, like, 1 of 14 from the field, 3 points, bro. 3 points from 14 shots. And yet, somehow, we lead. And why is this? Well, the offensive rebounds help. The 8 threes on 16 shots help. But we were shooting at 8 of 12, probably about 3 or 4 minutes ago. For the Hawks, Trae Young has 11. He's not shooting it well. Saddiq Bey's got 10. They are the only 2 in double figures. They are not shooting it well from 3. And they're also not shooting well from the field. They have gotten to the line for 2 more free throws. They are getting out rebounded, though, by 6. And the turnover count is 8-6. The Nets have more. But it has been a much better defensive performance. I mean, you compare this game to the previous game we played against the Hawks, and it's almost like slicing the shooting splits in half. It's been so clearly worlds apart from the previous effort against the Hawks. The problem is we haven't been able to capitalize on a good defensive half with a good offensive half because there's so many players holding us back. But like Cam Thomas hasn't scored, Claxton hasn't scored, Dinwiddie's scored. Well, Clax has scored a free throw, but not a point from the field. I think it's become a common trend that we get Claxton some extra looks early into the second half, and we feed him a little bit. I think we need to look to do that. Good off-ball movement here by Bridges and Johnson. Another missed runner by CJ, who's missed his last couple, and Dayron fumbled it out of bounds trying to get the rebound. So we're shooting 35% from the field, but still lead on the back of good defense. It's Murray on the perimeter, who's going to drive on Dinwiddie, shoot over the top. It's a tough shot, but it's a good make. And I mean, Spencer is just not a good matchup there. Dejounte Murray is playing well for them. Johnson got rid of Trae Young and scored at the edge of the paint. Trae was trying to draw an offensive foul, but referees aren't buying that one either. So 49-48, 2 or so minutes to play in this first half. Capella puts the ball on the floor and just easily shuffled Dayron out of the way. Hawks retake the lead, 50-49 the score. Johnson on the outside will drive. Oh, wow. Rips it back for a step-back three, and there's no whistle. And CJ wanted a call. Bay drives on Johnson, but he traveled. And Johnson is still arguing the point. Well and truly, I reckon we're going to get a replay on this if we have time. Dayron will go to the bench with Claxton returning. And another turnover for the Hawks, but this one was a dead ball turnover, so we're going to play half-court offense. Dinwiddie, the scoop. He's fucking blown the layup again. How did it go in? Both players under the basket fighting for it. It somehow got flicked up and banked in. I cannot explain that. Murray to Capella down low, waited for the defense to commit, and they indeed overcommitted. And Capella was able to get the two-handed flush uncontested. So, shit. I'm behind. Hang on. All right, Bridges. He's got Young on him. Kick out to Dinwiddie. 6 to shoot. Got to take him on. Got to take him on, Spence. Drive. And he's blown another shot. We have 43 seconds to play. Murray's going to drive on Finney-Smith. Got by him, and that's too easy. I don't know what Doe is doing there. And it's a 3-point lead for the Hawks. Bro, with our backcourt playing this shit, it is baffling we're down by this much. Dinwiddie is... Well, he gets the whistle. I don't know if that was a blocking foul or a foul under the basket, but 2 free throws coming up here. No, apparently not. So it's going to be a foul, and it's going to be inbounded from the side. Bridges stops. Oh, wow. That was not drawn up for Dorian Finney-Smith, but he read it. It went over the top of Clax, who Bridges was trying to find. And in the process, an easy two-handed flush. So 24 net bench points have gotten us within 1. So let's get a stop here, close out the half. To, you know, sort of symbolize the way we've been playing. That is an easy push shot for Hunter. And he scores on the buzzer. And Bridges is absolutely irate. I can't believe we've allowed that. Applying a bit of zone. I can't believe that. Let's have a look at it. Hunter in the middle. Just like everyone was sagging off. Bridges sagging off. Finney-Smith sagging off. Claxton sagging off. No one committed to it. No one. But that's going to be the first half. We're down 3. And I'll tell you what, you could take this one of 2 ways. Glass half full approach. we're only down 3. And you can see, well, I mean, it could be a lot worse. Defense has been really good. Really good. I mean, they did beef up the scoring at the back end of the quarter. They only scored 23 total in that quarter. 46% shooting overall for the Hawks. So they are killing us in that department. But it is also because we've had 6 extra shots. They've only hit 3 threes in the half. I imagine that'll normalize in the second half. The free throws are at 14, so that's improved from the first quarter where it was very, very slow tempo, very stagnant. Turnovers, 7, not too bad. We've forced quite a few of those. Trae Young only got the 11 points. Dejounte started to get it going at the back end of the quarter, so I think he's going to be the key. I actually want to see a few more Dennis Smith Jr. minutes in the second half because I think he was pretty key. We missed our last 5 threes, which, I mean, that's what's gotten us well and truly within reach. Even shooting only 37% from the field, the offensive rebounds have really helped. We've had 5 more rebounds, and it has been on the back of the 5 extra offensive rebounds. 8 turnovers total. But look, this is the issue. This is the extreme issue. Hang on. Just gonna update the stats. Bridges got to get more buckets, man. He has got to get more buckets, or at least get more looks, man. Because look, 4 shots for a guy who scored 42 previously. I don't care what defenses are throwing at you. Brother, he has got to get more than 4 shots. Cam Thomas is getting blitzed, and he's had more shots than Bridges. Dorian Finney-Smith off the bench has had more minutes. Or sorry, more points. More shots. Sorry. Dennis Smith, bro, been an excellent player in the first half. Day'Ron Sharp's provided good minutes, even though he's been a little bit of a, foul machine. I don't really know what he's doing with these minutes, man. And this is a situation we're going to have more often than not this season. We're going to have players coming off the bench playing 25 to 30 minutes, and then players in the starting 5 playing less than 30. So, like, the bench will play more than 30, and the starters will play less than 30 at stages. Cam Johnson is really helping us out here. He's shooting the ball exquisitely well. Mikal's actually shooting it well, but he's not getting nearly enough shots. This is the big issue, though. Claxton, Dinwiddie, Thomas. I have words for you guys. You are shooting 2 of 16 for 5 points. 5 points. 2 of 16 for 5 points. Do I need to repeat that? 2 of 16 for 5 points. Ridiculous. Let's have a look at what's being said in the chat. Dinwiddie will dribble the clock down, but will put up a BS shot with a lot of time. There's been some shots he well and truly should be converting. He's 1 of 7, but he should really be like 3 of 7. Like, he has had a lot of layups that have just been really wayward, which is, I mean, that's sort of speaking volumes about the way the game's gone. We're shooting 10 of 33 inside the line, 8 of 17 from outside. So you do the math, and it is just, I mean, it says a lot. Another quarter we can't seem to close out. Well, at least the opposition didn't go on a fucking 15-0 run. But just go into the calculator and do the math here. Calculator, 10 divided by 33 is 30%. Inside the line with 30% on 33 shots. Heck, I would rather this team shoot a fuck ton of threes than keep driving it. Dinwiddie's now just been upgraded to 1 of 9 out of nowhere, out of thin air. It was 1 of 7 about 5 seconds ago. It's just updated. Um, Minute allocations for the second half is really tough. Because Bridges, I would take 16 minutes. Cam Johnson, 15. That's not bad. I reckon he needs to be over 30. Claxton and Sharp, that dynamic's interesting because I don't think Clax has been awesome this game. But, I mean, he could potentially have a little offensive burst in the second half if we can get the ball to him down low. Spencer Dinwiddie, that guy needs to lift. If he's not going to score the ball, he needs to draw defenses. But shooting 1 of 9, I don't really back him in for that. And Cam Thomas, bro, he is 0 of 5. He hasn't scored. He's got 1 rebound. He's got more turnovers than any other stat combined. And he's a team worst -8. So it's like, do you play this guy more than 25 minutes tonight? I don't know, because I would rather Dennis play because of what he can do with, that Trae Young assignment. I do want to see Dennis Smith Jr. play at least probably 12 to 13 minutes, depending on whether or not Dinwiddie and Cam Thomas actually rock up in the second half. Because last game, Dinwiddie, like, when the game could have well and truly been, when we could have really gone back into our shell and conceded that lead that we held onto for so long and it was so commanding, Dinwiddie had a 13 points, not second half, third quarter, 13-point third quarter. Are we going to get something like that in this third quarter? I'm not sure. But yeah, Cam Thomas as well. Like, if those two don't rock up, Dennis has to get minutes. O'Neal and Finney Smith, 12 and 15 minutes respectively. I do like Finney Smith. O'Neal wasn't too bad either. But if I had to pick one, and I think the minutes probably indicate this, it has to be Doe. I do think. I think Doe needs to get more minutes. The problem is Cam and Mikal. Like, you've got to have both of those guys. So, are you playing a small ball lineup down the stretch with Finney Smith, Mikal, and Cam Johnson? I don't know. Because Dayron may be prone to conceding a foul. I wouldn't play him late game. Claxton hasn't had a great game. He's had not the 6 offensive rebounds, 6 rebounds. So he hasn't been awful, but that offensive side of his game that we know he's capable of has not been on display at all. So, look, I think it's been a good half. I think it's been a good half, but there's a lot to clean up, and I do think once you get the scoring out of Thomas, Claxton, and Dinwiddie, if you can get at least, I'd like to think you may be able to get 10 out of Clax in the second half, potentially, but he could have a game where he just ends with like 2 buckets or whatever. Dinwiddie and Thomas are the 2 important ones for me. I mean, Cam Johnson and Mikal have had a good sort of first half. Bridges has not taken enough shots, though. Like, he's got nearly... Clax has the same amount of shots as him. Clax. Cam Thomas has more shots. Dinwiddie's got more shots. Everyone in the starting lineup has the same or more shots than Mikal Bridges. Should not happen after he's just scored 42. So, let me know your thoughts on that one and anything else as well. We need to shoot them threes if we open. We need to attack the rim, yet we need to let them fly if we get the chance to. There's been opportunities there, but I don't think there's been that many open threes that we've passed up. I think we've taken what we've been given. 2 things that could help us on this, I believe in the second half, you mean. Either Cam Thomas going off or bombarding a barrage of threes. I don't know. Sort of iffy. Doing a barrage of threes or relying on a barrage of threes. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support. Incredibly important. Just so I can get a gauge of whether you are enjoying the stream or not. There's also a donation button, so if you do feel obligated to donate and support the show in that way, then you are more than welcome to. And also subscribe as well. This is what you're going to be given on a regular basis for many Nets games. So if you are enjoying the coverage and you want to see more of it, well, you know this is the place to be. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting second half. I'm not really sure what to expect for it. I need to check my fantasy league as well. Because I've got Cam Johnson, Clax, and Cam Thomas, so I'm not really being given much help. Bro, Cam Thomas is a -10 in fantasy, bro. What the hell? That is absolutely pitiful, Cam. I mean, the 3 turnovers don't help, but he doesn't even have a bucket, so he can't even offset the turnovers with points. Wow. That is really bad. Really, 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 really bad. Okay. The second half should be getting underway shortly. Let me know if you do want to see the box score again. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to just sit it here. Okay. The Wizards are beating the Sixers. That is unprecedented. Even though Embiid has 39 points and he's probably on track for a 50 piece, Maxi's got 23 as well. Aside from those two, no one's got double figures. Oh, sorry, and Melton's got 12. But who's going off for the Wizards? Poole with 20, 14 to Gafford, 13 to Kuzma, 13 to Jones, 12 Koulibaly, 11 Kispert. So they've got a little bit of a more evenly... What the hell? They've got a more evenly spread sort of team. Team offensive contribution. I'm just saying words at this point. I'm not even saying like sentences, coherent sentences. It fucking kicked me off League Pass because I've got it open on my phone. I think I need to open another app. We'll go Real Sports. I think that's the app. Grizzlies beating the Pistons. That is just a battle of not even mid. That's just the battle of trash. The Cavaliers. Who have they gotten points from? Orlando. Banchero's got 32 in the third quarter. That is pretty baffling, man. Oh, why does it have the Hawks feed? Go away. Wow. They've got like no one. Fultz out, Isaac out, Carter out. Who else is out for them? Wagner's on the bench. He's only got 6 points. Mitchell's got 28, carrying that game. Bulls leading the Hornets. Spurs leading Minnesota. Whoa. Spurs leading Minnesota. Okay. The Battle of French. Except, where's Victor? 6 points. Not doing too much. Minnesota, Nazare 10, Conley 10 at the half. So that's really it. Peter playing the Raptors as well. That's a game which will concern us because they're both near us on the table. What the fuck? Caleb Martin's got 24 points in basically a first half. 19 minutes, 24 points, and no one else has scored in double figures. That's including Jimmy Butler. Duncan Robinson, none of them have... How? How has that happened? Siakam's got 19, and Anunoby's got 15. That is probably the most baffling thing I've seen today. Rockets Thunder. That's an awesome game. Shea's got 10. Wiggins has 8 points. Holmgren's already got 3 blocks, a steal, 2 assists, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 12 minutes. Far out. There's a lot of stat sheet stuffing in this game day. Obviously a weird week, because there's 2 days where there's like 10 games, 12 games. And then there's like multiple days where there's like 1 or 2 games, because of the in-season tournament. Claxton would dump off. And they're playing some zone. The minute that Cam is doubled, they lock into a zone, and you know, we're going to really feast off that if we've got some cutters on the baseline. And we saw right there, Claxton, the extra pass to Cam Johnson to score unattended under the basket. Sadiq Bey in the mid-range. Doesn't get the bounce. Claxton, the one-handed rebound. And he's going to bring it up himself past half court. Gives it to Thomas. The drive, the runner. It's good. And he's on the board. Cam Thomas doing well. So Cam Thomas and Clax getting involved early in this second half with regards to our offense. Trae Young, the driving kick. Hunter, the three, is off. The rebound by Capella. Cam Thomas does well. Right, so Cam Thomas was trying to force a tie-up and a jump ball. But unfortunately, Cam was standing on the sideline while doing it. Didn't really have a rational sort of thinking. So it's going to be the Hawks who regain. Young, scoop, scores over Clax. That's a tough make. So first points of the second half for Atlanta go the way of Trae Young. And now it is the Nets who will be... That has to be a foul. And it is Dejounte Murray who is pleading to the ref. How? 3 fouls on Murray. And if we can get him into foul trouble, then that's going to give us an extreme advantage. All right. So Bridges, jump shot. That one rims out, and he did have an open look. It was the right shot, but unfortunately doesn't go down. Murray in rhythm. That 3 is off. Rebound Bridges. And he is going to pull up for 2 over Capella. That is short. And Johnson just snatched it away. Thomas. Oh my God! How the fuck? Bro, the man was kissing the hardwood. He was kissing the ground. And he somehow scooped it up and in. I thought he was completely defeated on that sequence. And he somehow scored it, but I don't think it's going to count. He was literally lying on his belly on the ground. And he somehow scored it. That was incredible. Dinwiddie shoots over Trae. That is never a good look. Ever. Ever. Spencer, ever. You're 1 of 9 and you're shooting that. Good little move by DeAndre Hunter to create the space. And it is now a 3-point lead for Atlanta. The way we began this second half. Dinwiddie to CT, back to Spencer, and now the screen by Clax. Dinwiddie will drive it, knocked away by Trae Young, and we've got a foul on Trae. That was probably another one of those soft referee calls. And I'm trying to eliminate the bias. I don't think that was a foul. Maybe something very, very soft, if that. I would be complaining. Bridges is open in the corner, and he's going to knock that down every single day of the week. Do not give him that much space, and we need to give him more looks. We need to find him in those open spaces as much as possible because he has been money when presented with that opportunity. Bey just lost his footing, and they've called another foul. I'm pretty sold he's just run into him. Pretty sold he just ran into him, but can understand why that foul was called. We've had 23 ties in this game. That's pretty staggering. Oh my God. When you look at it on replay, you can't even justify how that was a foul. Hunter scores a 3, and it is back up to 3. This is just really frustrating, man. Because neither team can really get the separation. And Spencer's just had a really bad game. Bridges was cutting back door. Spencer was looking for a pass in the corner. And there's miscommunication that we absolutely cannot afford. 9 turnovers to 8. Trae Young will drive. layup over Clax. It was blocked by Clax, and he cut that one off nicely. Johnson will drive and kick it to Bridges. He's open in front of the net bench, and he absolutely cracked under pressure. That is one that I thought he would knock down. And I said it on the previous possession. He's money. Usually, Murray responds with a 2 and punishes. 5-point lead for the Hawks. I don't think it's been out to this margin for quite some time. A 9-3 run for them. Midi by Bridges is off. Claxton gets the board as he fell out of bounds. Bridges goes again. Oh! That was nice. That was quality. That was so good. Sort of caught me a little bit by surprise because I couldn't really match with my reaction there. Murray looks for Bay on the weak side. Got by the closeout. Claxton meets him at the rim, but it is a foul. And I thought that was clean as well. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That was such a nice take by Bridges. Sort of adjusted in midair. Bay's at the free throw line now, and he makes the first. Let's have a look. I reckon he got him clean. He may have needed to go through the play to get to it, though, so you can sort of understand the call there. Bridges will inbound to Dinwiddie. First free throws of the half for either side. So the Nets will play through Cam Thomas here. He is blitzed to no one's surprise. He knocked it away again. Bro, those two are being absolutely incredible liabilities, man. Dinwiddie and Cam Thomas, bro, what are they doing today, man? Cam Thomas, bro, the layup was, well, basically on the rim. And he's trying to swat the shit out of that, so. We're going to get a timeout at the 7:20 mark. It's a 7-point lead to the Hawks. I think this is the largest lead of the game. We're getting some open dialogue here from Bridges and Dinwiddie, which is good. We need to see that. We need to see these players have tough conversations because you're not going to get better if you don't have the tough conversations. Cam Thomas always has a hard time when he is double teamed. It's just got to be, it's just got to be a better navigation, man. Like, I figure if you can see what's going on, make an adjustment, bro. Get him some looks off the ball. Like, get him moving. Get him doing some sort of catch and shoot sort of stuff. Eliminate those, those possessions where he's turning the ball over because he's getting overwhelmed by the pressure. Or at least do the pick and roll in the center of the court because every time he gets trapped, the half court line ends up being his enemy, or the baselines end up being his enemy because he's trapped in. And we're setting the screens in positions where it's just really opening up that weakness. Like, we need, well, first and foremost, we need buckets, because we've sort of gone a little bit cold in that region, but I think it's more, like, it's gonna, like, spring off defense again, but I've got faith in this team because they've done it as recently as the second quarter. Like, lads, come on. Pretty poor. It's actually getting pretty warm, so hold on. Alright. Gonna need to see a lift, lads. Gonna need to see a lift. Okay. I think, honestly, like, I would rather see the bench or the bench backcourt get more time. Why the fuck is he still persisting? I mean, granted, these players will probably flick a switch at some point, but Cam and Dinwiddie have been a rough watch today, man. They were looking for the backdoor cut by Mikal, but that was blocked off. Mikal's going to put the ball on the floor and get the scoop over Capella. So that is incredibly ideal out of the timeout. Obviously, you draw things up with the intention of scoring, so to see a score resulting, that is a good thing. Good trap on Trae Young by two of ours. Forces a Hunter mid-range. It's off. Capella fights and nearly got the rebound, but Claxton was enough of a deterring presence to sort of force Capella to lose that one out of play. Dinwiddie to Claxton, and now Cam Thomas will drive. Extra feed to Johnson, who did a good little cut down the middle, but he rolled it back out because it was a little bit too congested in there. Bridges shoots a mid-range, falling away, and he's fouled with 2 seconds on the shot clock. So a little bit of a bailout there by Sadiq Bey. And this is, I'm liking the amount of touches Bridges is getting in the second half. Less of these Dinwiddie touches and Cam Thomas touches, especially for a game like this. This isn't like a universal rule, but for a game like this where those two are struggling, give it to Bridges because he is looking like he's well and truly switched on. Dennis is in. This is not what I'm getting, though. Dennis is coming into the game when Trae Young is exiting. So that seems like a little bit of a counterproductive substitution by the Nets, but we well and truly will see if the effects of that substitution will be felt. He's picking up Dejounte Murray here, full court, and I imagine he's going to pressurize him a fair bit to pass the basketball off. Bridges, Bogdanovic from way downtown for three. That is, he wasn't hitting that in the first half. Lead back up to 6 for Atlanta, and we've reached the halfway point of this third quarter, and I don't think we've played that awfully, but yet we find ourselves being outscored by 3 in the period. Bridges, the 2 is good in the mid-range. He did well to maneuver through that one as well. Bridges has 11 in the quarter. That's what I love to see. Okongwu was off on the layup. Claxton's going to bring it up himself. Oh, what a bounce pass to Bridges! The reverse! And he hung in the air excellently. Claxton with the facilitation. It's back down to 2. And I'm loving that early offense. Claxton is essentially playing a point center when he, actually starts to bring it up like that. And the no-look pass to Bridges, who sort of gave off the impression that he was going to go with the simple layup. But he goes to where there was no resistance on the weak side. The nice little reverse layup capitalizing on that. And it is back down to 2. It's been an excellent third quarter by Mikal Bridges. We were talking at the half about him needing to get more shots up. And in this quarter, they obviously were having that discussion in the halftime break because he is just being given that responsibility and he is flourishing. He has got 13 in the quarter, and he's got 22 for the game. He has had 9 shots in the quarter, so he's gone from having the equal least in the starting 5, actually getting less shots than some of the bench, to now having the equal most in the entire team, and he is a +1, the only net in the plus for the plus minus. So he's at a really, really good third quarter, and we needed this from him because, granted, the Hawks offense was going to get going at some point, and we needed something that could counteract that because, we cannot get a bucket from our backcourt in this game. Starting backcourt. Dinwiddie and Thomas, bro, 2 of 16, man. We are 3 of 20 overall, if you include Claxton into that mix. That is a 15% clip, and they are 0 of 5 from downtown. Absolutely shocking with 6 turnovers. They've had more turnovers than basically any other stat. It's been pretty dire. I would rather have Dennis play in the closing than Spencer in this game. I'm going to be completely honest with you because I do think that Spencer is not really delivering on the deliverables. He needs to deliver in the facilitation game if his shot isn't falling. I'd rather him shoot the ball less than... I'd rather him shoot the ball less and make him than shoot the ball more and miss him. So it's finding that balance, which is proving really difficult. I'm liking the conversation on the bench by Mikal and JV, because I think that dialogue is important with your leaders and the obviously the leaders that aren't playing. So Mikal's been superb, man. He's been superb. Really, really good. And he's lifted. In the last 10 games, he's averaging 27. We said this pre-game. He's pushing that mark again today, looking like he's on track for 30. Bogdanovic on the wraparound in the corner. Goes up over Dayron the block! Good rim protection the last few possessions. Bounce pass by Bridges. Thomas in front of the net bench. Hit that, yes! Come on! And all of a sudden, a 14-3 run for Brooklyn. The lead is ours yet again. Murray, back out to Okongwu. Good defense. Murray tries to bypass Dennis. Dennis stays with him. Dejounte Murray lost the ball. The screen arrives. Dennis knocks it away again to the corner for Bogdanovic. That is a chuck up and it's an air ball. We push the pace. Cam Thomas, 2-on-1 fast break. Dennis, trailer, Dayron. My goodness, he nearly murdered Bogdanovic. Oh my goodness. We nearly played that to perfection. Garrison Matthews was trying to draw an offensive foul. But bro, Dayron has a knack for that this year. He is trying some of the most audacious... Sorry, not audacious. Overzealous dunk attempts. Like, he is chasing them. He is chasing these highlight dunks. And he's always like 75% of the way there. Second free throw is off after he made the first. And with 4:30 to play, the Nets have the lead back. So a good little shift here by the bench. And, well, some of the starters as well. Can't discredit those guys. Bogdanovic back out to Murray. Shoots over Bridges. And that's off. Long rebound to Okongwu. Bogdanovic goes again. Oh, shit. Fucking hate this shit, man. Even though he does nothing, Bogdanovic does my head in. Always knocks down those, second chance points from the outside. Dennis! 2+1 on the drive. He exploited that matchup on Garrison Matthews, who's already obviously committed a foul on the previous possession. Good little bit of work there by Dennis, and he is playing a subliminal game. I love that word as well. 76-75 the score with 3:55 or so to play in this third quarter. Can he convert the and one? This will be his 5th free throw, and he converts. So he has been quality for the Nets. Even in just the 3 or 4 minutes he's been on the court in this second half. The Nets up. Good cross by Murray. Still, Dennis doesn't lose him. Now the switch, Bridges on him. Shot over the top, it's off. Dayron with the box out. And bro, Dennis is the barometer. He is setting the precedent with this defensive work. Cam Thomas. Now Dayron back to Cam. He'll drive, and he really needed... No way! No. You have to challenge it. You have to challenge it, JV. You've got two of them. Oh, wait, actually. What? No fucking way. We've just lost the three-pointer. We've just lost the three-pointer that Cam scored before because he was on the sideline. Apparently, the one that he scored in front of the net bench to give us the lead back. I actually think it's Atlanta ball now. I think we've actually lost the challenge. Seeing that replay, in hindsight, it doesn't look good. Unless I'm identifying that it was the wrong hand. Does it? Oh, it does. I didn't even see that. It goes off Okongwu's foot, so it will be our ball. I was looking at the Cam Thomas touch as if it was the last touch, but it wasn't. There was an extra piece of the puzzle there. So we've just lost 3 points. And Cam Thomas, all of a sudden, my fantasy points have completely been eliminated. Let's have a look at the 3 that was ruled out. Indeed, his heel was on the line. For fuck's sake, man. That is... Bro, this shouldn't even be under, like, any more consideration. I don't know why it's taken this long. Bro, it's gone off his foot. What are you looking at, mate? It completely changes the trajectory. Yeah. So we retain the timeout, and we will have another opportunity, but we are back down 3, because that 3 by Cam Thomas before was chalked off by whoever looks back on those. It was a good eye for the nuancey details in our game, because yeah, you're not really picking that up if you don't go back and analyze it. Trae Young's back in, and Dennis is on the court. So this is the matchup I've been living for quite some time. I want to see the same thing when we play the Sixers, and we've got to deal with Maxey. I'm really excited to see the Maxey Dennis dynamic. I would have loved to have seen it with his former teammate as well in Terry Rozier. That would have been a really interesting one to look at. O'Neal's going to get it from the inbound. Bridges. Going to shoot. No, where are you going? Good pass, actually, to Finney Smith. Oh my god, bro. What are you doing? Shoot it, Dayron, mid-range! Oh, it's off. Bro, he looked like he really struggled to get that mid-range up. It didn't look like he had any spring in his legs there. Oh my god. That's a very, very deep 3. That one's off. Dennis will get the rebound. Bounce pass to Bridges. Dennis is open, ready to shoot, but he's going to let Bridges play. O'Neal to the corner for Dennis. O'Neal, good cut, and he scores off the window. That's something we don't see too often from O'Neal, being the cutter. Usually we see him feeding the cutters and giving them the opportunities to score. But this time, good facilitation by the... I don't know who the net was in the corner. Trae Young tried to draw a foul, said he got hit on the face. But the refs didn't buy that either. Matthews picks up his dribble. Bogdanovic will drive on Dennis, scoop it up, and that was just badly missed by Bogdanovic. I don't know if he was going for layup or lob, but it didn't matter because they ran out of time and they did not hit the rim. So it's well, yeah, I mean, another excellent defensive possession by the Nets. This has really been the way things have gone in this game. Bogdanovic is very sore. He's been hit on the knee, and Royce O'Neal looked very clumsy on that handoff. He just, like, bit of knee-on-knee contact. Let's have a look. O'Neal changes direction, and, yeah, bumps knees with Bogdanovic as he's fighting through the screen. And both of them looked really ginger, but, I mean, they're okay now. We're in the bonus, though. So free throws for O'Neal. And the last time we played the Hawks, believe it or not, O'Neal had free throws. And he missed both of them. So let's see if he decides I'm going to rock up at the free throw line today. Let's see if he's got my kind of form. Makes the first. So already that's an improvement on the previous fixture where he had free throws. Sadiq Bey checks in. O'Neal's second is off. What a surprise. Alright, so 2-point lead for the Nets. 14-3 run in the last 4 or so minutes. Defense been superb at the back end of this quarter. As soon as Dennis came in, excellent work there again to deny it to Trae. But of course, we ended up finding O'Neal on Trae Young. And of course, that was an easy bypass. Basically a traffic cone we're dealing with there. Dennis picks up his dribble out to O'Neal. Into Dayron, and he just lost the ball going up. Good defense, Matthews. Bogdanovic. Now out to Trae. Picks up his dribble. Good defense by Dennis. Doe read the pass, and he's going to dunk this one down if he can just dribble it, and he does. So it looked a little unconvincing once he was able to rake in the steal, but good defense. Dennis forcing Trae to pick up the dribble and then the pass being way too predictable. Trae for 3. That's good. And that was probably a poor navigation of fighting over the screen there. It is a 1-point lead to the Hawks. It has been like this all game. We haven't gotten the cushion that I've, well, been desiring the whole game. Bridges stops. Good wraparound bounce pass. And he found Dayron open. Bridges was doubled. But look, that is the facilitation that I seek from Mikal if he's not going to score the ball. And he's going to get that sort of attention the more, well, the better he gets. So, that's exactly what I love to see. Trae Young just lost his footing. Bullshit! Bullshit! Fucking hate this guy. Seriously, does my head in. Oh my god! I don't fucking buy that for a second. Here we go. Tripped over his own fucking feet, bro! What a joke! Mate, the chair got taken out from underneath him. That's no one's fault except his own. Fuck me. What a joke. And watch, they will score a 3 now off this. I can already tell you. Here we go. Logo 3. No, he's fucking airballed it. And now Trae's saying, oh, I got hit on the head. Well, mate, you just got an extra possession for falling over your own feet. Don't fucking argue the point as if you got hard done by, because you didn't. You're getting extra possessions because ghosts fouled you. Fuck me. Alright. So Dennis, the Bridges, 6-second difference between shot and game. He's got Trae Young picking him up, so this is exactly the matchup you want to see. Bridges well held up by Trae. Bridges bounce pass to Cam. Good defense. 5 to shoot. Cam shoots a 2 over 2. Bridges was wide open and he didn't see him. Out of the periphery, Trae Young, the runner. It's good. We got 2.1 or 2.8 to get a shot up. Here we go. Cam Thomas going to let it roll a little. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Pass. And that's going to do it. That's 3/4 time. 82-81. And we actually haven't had a stoppage in time. So let me have a look at the box score for you. I'll just get the scoreboard sorted for the last quarter. This is going to be another down-to-the-wire game, folks. Mikal Bridges had a much, much better third quarter. He ended with 13 points when it was all said and done in that quarter. We have gotten to the free throw line a fair bit, which is, well, nice to see. The shooting has gone up. We've only hit 1 3 in that quarter. We didn't take too many, but we did well when we got into the interior. Out-rebounding them by 4, which is pretty good. The turnovers actually dried up in that. Well, they didn't really dry up. They sort of, there were a few in there, but it felt like the game was more free-flowing. So probably less of those dead ball turnovers and more of the, the ones in the open court. Doe and Dennis have been awesome. Nearly the whole bench are probably eyeing off double-digit scoring, which is awesome, and that's keeping us alive. Trae Young has got 22. He's shooting the ball well, but only hit his first 3 of the game, probably about, a couple of possessions before the 3/4 time break. They've got 5 players in double figures, still shooting it not great. The threes have lifted from them. We've had more free throws than them, all things considered, all those fouls that Trae Young has been drawing. He's only gotten to the free throw line 5 times, which is a good sign. But look, we've got 7 points from 3 players who have combined for 21 shots. So that is really weighing us down, and I do think the game would have been well and truly done and dusted if we could have just gotten these guys to shoot even below average. Because right now they're shooting abysmal as a three-man group. So, look, I'm very interested to see what this last quarter has in store, because we are, I don't really know what to say. Jace, hope you're doing well, mate. Of course I'm a Nets fan. I don't think the Nets hat, the Nets World t-shirt, which you can't see, the Nets overlay could really indicate otherwise. Trae should be fine for flopping. I don't think they've ever given away a flopping fine. Almost had a heart attack is the way you were calling it for some reason. I thought it was the end of the 4th. It's got that vibe about it. That 3 was off, but bro, the box out on the rebound was abysmal. And I don't know who the 4 is. Of course it's fucking O'Neal, isn't it? No, it's Finney Smith. That's poor. I've got to say it how I see it. O'Neal for 3, that's off. Rebound by Okongwu. Dennis Smith had possession, so that's disappointing. Trae's picked up by Finney Smith, and I'd rather the other Smith be picking him up. Now a switch. Cam Thomas guards. Trae Young just flung it out of bounds. Okongwu was cutting, but unfortunately a little bit of miscommunication on that end. So 3-point lead for the Hawks. Dennis will use the Clax screen, get into the paint, go vertical and score over Okongwu for 2. This is a really weird lineup for the Hawks, and I'm not really sure what to make of it from the lineup we're putting out there, because they've got Capella and they've also got Okongwu as the 4. So a good rebounder is Okongwu. Okongwu stood on the sideline, so now they're putting the responsibility on bigs to potentially handle the rock and drive it. So an interesting take by Quinn Snyder. Oh wow, Clax. The fake on the handoff, and that was a wild layup. Capella also hit the deck. So it went from a 5-on-4 to a 4-on-4, and for some reason O'Neal committed the foul. I have no idea what he was thinking there. I can acknowledge that Clax was he's just trying to break the streak. He's trying to kill the trend. because we just cannot get a bucket from those three players, man. Good pass by Bogdanovic. Open man is a Kongwu in front of the bench. It's off. I'm happy to give away those threes. I don't know if a Kongwu can shoot the ball that well from the outside. O'Neal, Finney Smith on the catch from the wing. Money! Am I going to get an early timeout? Because that is far too easy from an Atlanta perspective. And Finney Smith has been hitting those from the wing since he was a kid. Not really, but it feels that way. It seems like that is just shooting practice for him. It is habitual. It is just natural to him. I mean, yeah, it's good to see those go down, and we haven't hit too many threes since the first half, but that's a really important one. And we've now got that nice little 2-point edge. He's got 13 in the game, which is awesome. And Dennis as well, 13. The 3 assists, the 3 boards, the 1 steal, good defense on Trae. Can't really complain, to be honest, with those minutes by Dennis. I'm really, really interested to see what JV does with Spencer Dinwiddie and Cam Thomas. Combining for 2 of 17 as a backcourt pairing, it's not going to cut it. We need all hands on deck, and I would go as far to say that Dennis really needs to play down the stretch here. He really does. I think we have to hold off on Cam Thomas and Spencer Dinwiddie as much as possible. It would have been great if we had that luxury of playing Lonnie off the bench, because I think he would have contributed superbly in a game where, you know, the buckets for the starting backcourt duo are really few and far between. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where this game goes, man. If it's more a bench reliance or it's a starting lineup reliance. I think if we can remain afloat without Mikal Bridges on the floor, then I think we're going to be well and truly positioned to get the W here. I think the bench have been a far better presence than the starting 5. Like, down the stretch today, specifically for this game, I do not back Cam Thomas to make the difficult shot, because I think if they put him in an ISO when the game gets tough and we need a bucket and things slow down, they're going to double Cam Thomas at every opportunity. So in a game where Cam cannot find his shot, he's not going to be left open down the stretch. So there's not really any, there's nothing unrelenting about the way they're approaching this game with regards to defending Cam Thomas. It's going to be really, really difficult. Really, really difficult for him to get going. I'd back Bridges down the stretch. I'd back CJ. Would I back Cam today? Probably not today. In other games, yes. But from what I've seen today, the sample size is, well, there. 23 minutes a game time today. Yeah, I think, well, he's in the game now, so let's see what Cam Thomas does. He got absolutely cooked there by Hunter on the spin, but he missed the baseline J, and the Nets can get a 2-possession lead, which I haven't been able to say too much today. Thomas drives on Trae, creates a bit of separation, and off the window, the banker is good. And, I mean, obviously what I just said can go one of 2 ways. It can actually happen that way and he doesn't ever get going, or he just makes every difficult shot thrown at him. Sadiq Bey had an open 3 in the corner, and they worked that one out excellently well. I mean, we didn't have the numbers on the weak side. We committed to the paint, which is no surprise. Claxton the roll, and he's fouled by Capella. So 2 free throws. That's a nice little play. Good little slip pass by the Nets, and I do believe it was DSJ with the dime again, or attempted dime. It won't count in the box score. So, Lax at the free throw line to get it up to 3. Oh my god. This is the bad thing about getting so many centers at the free throw line, or getting so many free throws from your centers, man. Here we go. Second free throw coming up for Clax. It's good. So he silences the crowd there, which were very, very vocal. Trae picked up by Dennis. High screen. Switch. Trae. Kick out. Bogdanovic open for three. And that is a deep Trae. And Bogdanovic knocks it down again. So there's just no separation that can be created for either side. It's just bucket for bucket every single possession. Clax wanting Cam to arrive. He faked the handoff. He's going to back down Capella, but he's going to give it back out to O'Neal. 2 to shoot. What the fuck is that? Bro, come on, man. How is that a play? We didn't even enter the fucking restricted area, dude. Bogdanovic picks up his dribble to Trae Young on the outside. He's going to take on Dennis. It's good defense. Knocked away by Dennis. 4-on-1 fast break. Alley-oop. Ah! You couldn't see me, but I was flexing. Yes, lads. Bro, Dennis, man. I love this guy, dude. He had a really rough run for like 5 or 6 games. That's an excellent reverse by Saddiq Bey. What the fuck? Incredibly skilled layup, but yeah. I mean, it's just shot for shot, make for make. Cam Thomas again, the runner. He got it to go, and he found the little bit of space there, which I've been saying is going to be incredibly difficult to find, but he did a really good job of finding it there. So that's what gifted scorers do. Trae Young shoots the 3. Man, that nearly... Oh. It's an over-the-back foul on Capella. Shit, we were nearly, well, primed to give away another possession to the Hawks, but it's a foul over the back on Capella. Claxton was the body in between the basketball and the man, and that was enough of a presence. Dennis to the bench. What minutes from that guy? Spencer's back in, and I'm not sure about this. Thomas will drive, shoot the 2 on the baseline. It's off. I think now is the time, especially when you can't rely on stops because you don't have DSJ on the floor. I think you have to get one of Royce or DFS off and get Bridges back in, man. 94-93. Hawks are up. This is ridiculous, man. Dinwiddie weaves through. Layup. Good. Wait, he got a whistle. Haha, mate. Living. I mean, I didn't even, like, see the reaction from anyone. Like, I couldn't even hear the whistle. And they've just called a foul. So, 6:43 to play. And yet again, this deficit, or this lead, whichever way you're looking at it, I mean, it just has not gone beyond like 4 or 5 points the whole game. I mean, I really want to see, like, if we've got a worm, if we've got like a score worm, I want to see like how straight it is, because there wouldn't be too much separation that we've seen this whole game. Bay's going to drive on Dinwiddie. Don't like that. Dayron was also in the air, and it's another easy 2 points under the basket. I don't know why this is the lineup at the moment, man. Bridges, the reverse. Oh! Brother! Oh my goodness, bro. That little extra bit of hesitation to catch the defense a bit unsuspecting. Like, bro. Crazy shit. Oh my god. As fucking if he's started to hit threes now, bro. Did nothing the whole game. And now all of a sudden, I reckon he's hit 3 or 4 threes in a row. And, like, they're difficult shots, man. 36 lead changes in this game. This is fucked. Dinwiddie will go again. The layup. Wild attempt. It's off. Rebound Bogdanovic. Come on, lads. Knocked away by Bridges. They've still got a look. Bay in the corner. It rims out and Doe with the board. That was an important rebound. Dayron's rim running. Dinwiddie skip past to Johnson. One more for Finney-Smith. And Dinwiddie will hold at the logo. Tries to get rid of Hunter. It's good defense. Maneuvers through. The scoop is off. And the Hawks fumbled the rebound out of play. So we're going to get a reprieve here. Down 1. This is a crazy game, this. This is a crazy game, dude. 5:11 to play. And we've got a timeout. Fuck me, dude. This is fucked. I hate this shit, dude. Where's Watford? Is he injured? As I said before, there's only enough players you can play. Like, look at the box score, man. Like, you can only allocate so many minutes. Like, some of these guys have played, like, upwards of 20. There's not too many teams in the league who have the luxury of being able to play 3 of their bench players for more than 20 minutes. And a 4th pushing that mark as well. We've gotten some really good bench contributions. I'm really interested to see what the closing lineup looks like. This game's just been neck and neck the whole way, man. I'm telling you, Bogdanovic is a killer. Bro, it's ridiculous, man. How many fucking times this guy decides to rock up against us? I don't actually think he shot it as efficiently as we expect. No, he has. He's got 20 points off the bench, 7 of 14. I mean, last game it was DeAndre Hunter. This game it's Sadiq Bey and Bogdanovic, man. Fuck's sake. It's not like Dejounte Murray and Trae Young have really been anything special, to be honest. It's going to be their role players, I think. Like, we need Cam Thomas to just flick a switch for the final 5 minutes. Dinwiddie ain't it. Like, he's taken a couple of shots in this last quarter since he returned, and those layups, like, they've been there, but they're just not falling. They are not falling. We've only hit 10 threes in the game, which is not our blueprint, which is an interesting sort of discussion to have post-game if we win or lose this one. We haven't turned the ball over, I don't think, in this last quarter. And we've had more free throws, but we've missed 6. So the Hawks will have been far more opportunistic in that regard. Like, they're not really getting punished for giving away those extra free throws. We have 5 minutes to play. And it looks like the lineup, as it currently stands, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, Cam Thomas is on the bench. Mikal, Cam Johnson, I would suspect. And that number 5, I don't know, that elusive 5th man. If it's not Cam Thomas, who is it? Dayron Sharp at the moment. What the fuck? Who are we looking for? Bridges. Straight from the inbound. Dayron nearly did a bit of a shit cut, but Dinwiddie, bro, weaves through. Had to be, well, Dayron with excellent resilience on the glass. Dinwiddie's missed another fucking 3. Missed the fucking runner, then missed the 3 that was wide open. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Spencer's got to go off. As far as I'm concerned, I think you have to have Cam in over Spence. Bridges into the paint, shoots a 2, and he scores. That's money every day of the week. Any other player, aside from Dinwiddie, could have made that 3-pointer. The way this game has gone, bro. Like, Spencer is shooting, like, oh, he is shooting trash. Hunter in the mid-range. That's off. Get the board. Good. Dayron bats it to CJ, who has not really had enough of the basketball today in this one since, like, halftime. Bridges. Skip past to Finney-Smith. Dinwiddie. Johnson. Back to Spencer. 8 to shoot. Oh my god. 6 to shoot, and he's got the ball. He's going to end up putting one up. He lost it. He's got 3 to shoot. Drive. Layup. High off the window. He got it to go. And I don't even understand how the fuck he scored that. It looked like we absolutely had zero business scoring that one. Found a way. And it was someone who's been shooting the worst on our team today by a country mile. Then Doe nearly forced the tie-up. Then an air ball was forced. Then another loose ball was being fought for. Heavily in dispute, but the Hawks will recycle. Not really. I mean, it's the same possession, a continuation of. But they've got 5 to shoot it. I mean, so many good little efforts in that sequence there. Finney Smith, the active hands. I mean, Dayron, the presence. Like, good tie-ups. Are we challenging this? Are we challenging this? Because I don't know if we are. I can't see if the green light's on. I don't think it is. I think it's just a regulation timeout. It's probably one of those situations where you're like, use it or lose it. Bridges now at 26. So 26 for him. And, well, 4 plays in double figures. But, bro, Spencer Dinwiddie, before that clutch make high off the window over Capella, 2 of 15 he was. He's now 3 of 16. I mean, I don't even know how this is happening, really. We have our 2 players in the backcourt combining for 6 of 26, yet we lead. Off the back of some really clutch performances from a few others. But really like the fact we're closing with Finney Smith. I think that is going to be probably one of the keys to success. Dayron is still playing, so that's a really interesting call. Man, I think it was that, like, as you've seen, like, as the game's worn on, we've scored a lot more from inside the arc. Like, we started the game so well, though. Oh, no. Oh, that's a bad miss. That is a bad miss by Murray. He fucking nearly airballed the thing. It was a rim grazer, and it just bounced so fortuitously that we're going to be the beneficiaries. So 3 or so minutes to play now. It is a 1-point lead. It has been basically at this margin the whole game. Nothing to separate the two teams. And, I mean, by standings as well. Mikal, good verticality by Capella. Denied him at the rim. And now Trae Young from way downtown. Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Bro, shut up, Trae. That celebration. You're 1 of 7 from 3 before that. Dinwiddie makes the runner. He responds. It is 104 apiece. Bay running the rim. Knocked away by Spencer. And then Claxton is also there. Good defense by the Nets. And it is a fucking turnover. Or a defensive stop. Whatever you want to say. Spencer, I know he doesn't hang his hat on defense, but that is a huge bit of defensive work there. So 2.5 minutes to play. It is tied at 104. Bridges will drive. Kick out to Dinwiddie. Shoots a 3 in rhythm. It's good! Spencer's just woken up. 3.5 quarters later. 10 points in the quarter. Trae will drive. Extra pass. Unnecessary. The dunk by Capella over the top of Clax, and I don't think Quinn Snyder was too happy about that, but a big 2 points nonetheless. It is a 1-point lead to Brooklyn. Bridges will have Capella on him in a switch. The step back 2 is good. Clutch. Oh, come on, lads. 3-point lead. This is where we create the separation. Get a stop. Trae Young, good bit of hesitation. It's a foul on the floor, and that is an incredibly smart foul because they are not in the bonus, and it wasn't a shooting foul. Man, Mikal was walking a tightrope there. Excellent dime, though, and then the shot creation off one leg for 2, and he looked at the Nets bench and said, yeah, I'm about that stuff. Trae Young, the runner. That's a wild layup. Get the board! Idiots! No! Over the back! Yes! over the back foul. It was a gang rebounding effort under the basket. Man, we were nearly ready to give away those second chance points. I mean, if we didn't get saved by the whistle, you could probably chalk it up as another 2 points to Capella. Who would have thought he'd be the source of offense down the stretch? Bridges, good high screen, Clax, skip past to Finney Smith. Oh my god, it's an air ball. Fuck me, that was a bad shot. I think we could have used up a little bit more clock. Here is Trae Young. He gets by. The runner is off the window. It's a bank. And with 1:10 left, 70 seconds to play, do not let this one slip. Do not let this one slip. I beg. Bridges, drive, kick. Finney Smith's open. Oh, he missed it. Fuck. Johnson gets the rebound. And he had the open mid-range, but he did the smart thing and just wants us to chew up a little bit more clock. Dinwiddie in an ISO. Drives on Trae. Lost the ball! Trae Young with the defensive play, and now Murray will drive baseline. The reverse, it's off. Oh my god! The most fucking bullshit bit of fortune I've ever seen. What are the officials doing? Or we could see an offensive basket interference if we're not careful. Hang on. Oh, that's not going to count. That's not going to count. He was hanging on the rim before the ball went into the hoop. That's not going to count as 2 points. They're going to review it. So I'm taking the 2 points off. But brother, Spencer, man, fuck me. What a joke, man. How did we end up? Bro, honestly, in hindsight, CJ should have just shot the mid-range. He had like 5 feet of space. No one was within, no one had a sniff of contesting that mid-range. For fuck's sake, bro. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days for Nets Wizards. Bro, he's hanging on the rim. He's hanging on the rim. He's hanging on the rim. The ball has not gone down. It'll be a foul, but it cannot count as an and one. Cannot. I refuse. So it's 2 shots. 2 shots for Saddiq Bey. He's got the added pressure of having to make not 1, but 2 free throws. It has been called an offensive basket interference, so the 2 doesn't count. Man, running with Spencer down the stretch has been a big question mark, bro. This is a big decision, man. If Spence played the same in the first 3 quarters as he did in the last 3 minutes, we win by 20. Well, for that matter, Cam Thomas, for that matter, Nic Claxton, all these guys have been shooting it like trash. I would have rather a Dennis Smith play the final 5 minutes than Spencer Dinwiddie, to be honest, but he's come up with some clutch makes. We have the lead, but man, he's just also contributed to a turnover, so I don't know if that's more on Spencer or Trae Young, who forced the, who got the steal. Now, the discussion that would have been had in the timeout, do the Nets go for a 2-for-1, or do they hold for 1? Saddiq Bey at the line. His second free throw is good. He's made all 4, and now the Nets will call a timeout. So I suspect that we've got 2 timeouts remaining. We're going to use the first one here to draw up a out-of-bounds sequence, which will hopefully give us the bucket we need to take the lead. And then from that point onwards, got to get a stop. Got to get a stop. The problem is this, though, bro. Spencer has been a little bit of a goof in the last 2 meetings against the Hawks. Obviously, just then, he's fucking turned the ball over, and Trae Young, of all players, got the stop, right? In the previous game, he fucking tripped over his own feet, and Trae Young got the, got free throws. Man, I swear to God, we had pole position again, man. This is so infuriating. So, the last 6 games versus the Hawks have been decided by 9 points or fewer. We've had shootouts, we've had defensive... Well, we haven't had that many defensive masterclasses because, quite frankly, these two teams, this year especially, suck at defense. If you are enjoying the stream and you want to see more of these watch parties, make sure to tune in a couple of days' time. You can subscribe so you're notified. You can like the stream if you are enjoying it, of course. That's pretty important. And if you'd like to donate, there is a button as well. But yeah, that is not an obligation. Who is in? O'Neal, Johnson, Finney-Smith, Bridges, Dinwiddie. We only needed 2. We made this mistake against the Hornets. Got to get it in. Dinwiddie here. Bridges! Backdoor cut! He scored for 2! We barely used clock as well. Here we go. Trae Young. Drive. Stops. Oh no, he's open. He blew it! Dinwiddie one-handed rebound. And a foul. Spencer! Let's go! Spencer Dinwiddie, mate, I've been his biggest critic, but that movement off the ball by Mikal Bridges, it was a little bit congested right at the edge of the paint there. I think CJ set the good screen to free him up, and Bridges used it well. Dinwiddie got a strong rebound on the defensive side as well. I mean, Trae Young had an open 2, and he was celebrating like a clown before. I mean, in hindsight, I could be celebrating like a clown right now. But, you know, Spencer, bro. Huge plays in this last couple of minutes. Even though he's, well, sometimes it's been for the worse. But, it's a 112-110 lead for the Nets. Just make the free throws so we can't get... Oh my God. He missed the fucking free throw. Dude. I was just about to say, don't miss the second so we can't get heartbroken. But of fucking course, this guy decides to miss the second free throw. What a clown, man. So it looks like there was a bit of a Hawks defensive lapse there. Johnson was switched onto by Murray, who initially was on Bridges, and Hunter needed to switch onto Mikal. That never happened, and Bridges was open. So now the Hawks can tie or take the lead. These two teams are refreshed, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. What lineup we roll with, because we need to box out if there is a miss. I mean, we're very, very open to the possibility of maybe missing. It's a very high possibility that we don't get the offensive rebound. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I hate my life. Oh, God. 2-point game. 2-point game. Trae Young is in. I don't know what lineup this is. Dennis. Yes, Dennis is in the game. Claxton is in the game. Mikal is in the game. So those three alone should be able to anchor our defense. Who else is on the floor? I think Finney-Smith will be there. Here we go. 22 seconds. I'm not even going to use the stop chant. I have this much confidence. Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith, the other two. Bridges, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, Smith, and Clax. Capella, Murray, Hunter, Bogdanovic, Young. I think they may be drawing up a 3. Got to defend the outside. Trae Young, defended by DSJ. Good defense. Step back 3. Oh, fuck off. It's good. Shit. Oh my God, we're letting it run. Oh my God, we're letting it run again. Bridges, one-on-one with Hunter. I don't like this. Bridges drives, picks up his dribble, shoots. Oh! Tough shot, Mikal Bridges. Ah! Okay, we have the lead. After Trae Young hit a step-back three, we opted to run without calling a timeout, which could have been a really bad decision in hindsight, because realistically, when are we going to use the spare timeout? We've got 4.5 seconds left. When are we going to use it? The Hawks have got time for one shot, and that is it. Mikal was staring down the Hawks crowd. Well, I'd rather be leading than losing, but I'd rather not get heartbroken at this stage of the game. Come on, lads. If you are enjoying, you know what to do, ladies and gents. Fucking subscribe, bro. These are the reactions you're gonna get. We play in so many close games. This is what's gonna happen. Mikal, my GOAT, as Dark Shadow said in chat. Come on, lads. Gotta knuckle down. 4 seconds to get one stop. We're being good today defensively. Please. 5 for the Hawks. Bay, Hunter, Bogdanovic, Young, and Murray. Small ball lineup. The Nets have Clax, Finney-Smith, Dinwiddie, Dennis Smith, Bridges. Come on, lads. Young inbounding, so they may look to do a little bit of give and go. They only needed 2. Here we go. Inbounded to Bay. Back to Young. Oh, my God. Oh, it's off! Yes! 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 In your face, Young! In your face! Thank you very much! We forced an incredibly difficult, off-balance, one-handed throw-up, and it actually nearly went in. Trae Young, I don't think is too happy. Neither is Quinn Snyder. He wanted a foul. And honestly, we're going to see the replay back. It may very well have been a foul, but as a Nets fan, what do you want me to do? Argue that there should have been a foul call? I'm going to celebrate the win, of course. It's the first time it seems like we've beaten the Hawks close. We've fucking done it, ladies and gentlemen. Is Giddey making big news in Australia? We'll get to that in just a second. I'm not worrying about players that are acting sus. I'm worrying about basketball players that are drama-free and delivering on the big-time stage. We put Mikal Bridges in the spotlight pre-game, and he fucking delivered in the closing. He ended with 32 points, 32 of the best, if you will, and he ended with the 6 dimes as well, but he came up with some clutch buckets, bro. First career win for Mikal and CJ in Atlanta. I mean, what more can I say, brother? What more can I say? I want to hear your thoughts in chat first and foremost. Let's see a little bit of hype in the chat as well. It's well and truly justified. I am so G'd up. So G'd up, man. Mate, I didn't even need the stop chant. I just had that much faith. Mikal will be killing the Hawks. He does it every fucking game. Every game, dude. But you know what is the more staggering thing about today's game? And we're going to talk about this a little bit briefly. Make sure to hang around for the post game. We're going to do the full wrap up and then we are going to end it off here. But fucking hell, what an intense ending. And we are never devoid of these sorts of endings. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous how this happens on a regular basis, right? Now, first and foremost, let's have a look at that backcourt. Cam Thomas, Spencer Dinwiddie. Oh, hang on. Let's go back. Let's go back. I just saw the replay. Okay, I just want to see the replay of this ending. Let's have a look at the final shot. So, give and go as expected between Bay and Young. He did get bumped. It probably should have been a foul. It didn't go down, though. And they had a lot to say at full time. But you know what? We take those wins and we move. And I tell you what, we were not in a good position. That could have been a bump. But that being said, I think Trae made a little bit of a meal about it on the on that replay. The one that's from... Like, it shows, like, the width of the court. Like, yeah, it didn't look like he got bumped as much as, well, the flop made him out to be. Or made it out to be. This is the key to me. So, Mikal had a great game. Cam Johnson had an excellent start. I think he had 11 in the first quarter. But here's the more staggering thing. And I think this is a great sign about the group and how it's constructed as a roster. Cam Thomas and Spencer Dinwiddie as a backcourt duo had nearly 30 shots and shot about sub 20%. Sorry, not sub 20%. I can't do math. They shot under 30% from the field, shooting nearly 30 shots. Now, for math, that is a third of our shots. So with those two, we shot under 30%. The plus was that nearly every other player rocked up today from the field. Dennis with 13. You know, Dayron with 8, even though he missed his free throws. 4 offensive rebounds in the mix as well. 6 to O'Neal, who didn't shoot it great, but great enough. 15 to Dorian Finney-Smith. And even though he missed some clutch threes late, I mean, he had to hit a couple threes for us to get into that position. And then obviously Cam Johnson and Mikal combining excellently from the outside, from inside the arc. I mean, what more can you ask for from those two? But I think the key thing as well was the 12 turnovers. That number did not change for the entire last quarter, and it barely changed in the third quarter as well. I mean, we only had like a handful, 3 to 4 turnovers, I do think, in that second half. And here is the interesting thing. So the lineup that we closed with, I think, was the right one in hindsight. And I was saying that maybe we should have had Cam Thomas as opposed to Dinwiddie. But now when you can reflect and look back on it with a little bit less emotion involved, you can say, well, Spencer Dinwiddie did come in clutch down the stretch. He had done nothing all game, but he hit after 2 of 15. Yeah, after shooting 2 of 15 from the field, he ends scoring 3 of his last 4. He hits a 3. And, well, he did miss 1 free throw, but he got a vital rebound to give us the free throws that we needed to give us that cushion. And it's those little small nuancey things which I think show how good our team is. Like, we've got players that can cover the losses that we're getting on certain players, but then those players that were missing all game can return in the big moments and deliver. Even though Dinwiddie shot 5 of 19, I'm going to look at that fourth quarter in isolation and say, well, he nearly won us the game. But ultimately, Mikal Bridges has to be the guy that cops the praise. 32 and 6 assists. There were some really important dimes in there, and Spencer Dinwiddie only had the 4 assists, but he had one that was really, really important. It was the assist to Mikal Bridges out of the timeout. A nice set play. The Hawks didn't switch, and Mikal with that excellent wraparound cut. I mean, he had the defenders beaten. And it was an easy 2 off the window. So it was an excellent out of the timeout play. And it was also like JV, admittedly, made the right rotations at the right time. I think he played Dorian Finney-Smith the amount of minutes that he deserved to play. He played an excellent game today. And had he knocked down those 2 threes, the game's well and truly beyond doubt. So he was superb in this game amidst the guards really struggling. Claxton down the stretch was really important as well. I mean, 10 rebounds, 10 important rebounds, and so did Dayron. I mean, he ended with 4 offensive rebounds. So those like rebounds you really value. Those two have been superb in that department this season. And then, yeah, it's just really, it's a really good read today. I mean, you look at the Hawks. They got 30 from Trae Young. He made some really tough shots. He started 0 of 6, I think, from 3 or 0 of 4. Ends shooting the ball much better from three, but I think we defended him extremely well. Dejounte Murray dried up scoring-wise after the break. Bogdanovic started knocking down shots. I would have thought they may have drawn something up for him, but Saddiq Bey played well. DeAndre Hunter missed a few down the stretch, which could have been costly. They actually out-rebounded us, which was an interesting takeaway that I've just noticed now. Turnovers basically dead even. We had the same amount of shots as them. Made one extra shot. That was the key, even though they made one extra three, and we made the same amount of free throws. These two teams could not have been separated at all in this game. At all. It's actually quite baffling how similar these two teams are. They don't have the pieces that probably send them over the edge and into contention, but two basketball teams that are somewhere in the middle of the road. They're sort of existing, sort of not. Some teams acknowledge, or people acknowledge they're there, but probably not that much because there's nothing too eye-catching. But when they come up against each other, it makes for incredibly good games of basketball. It wasn't one that was one-off threes or anything of the sort. It was a much more gritty, slower tempo game. So same could not be said for the previous meeting, but I think these are the kinds of games that we're going to be in a lot more situations. We're going to be in a lot more situations where games pan out this way, and I do think, this is probably our identity right here. We need to be winning these games. And it's good to see that last time we played them, we gave up an opportunity. But today, we well and truly embraced that opportunity, and we didn't let these good performances by our bench and a couple of our starters go to waste. We actually capitalized even with a number of key players weighing us down. So that was awesome. I don't know if there's too much else to comment on. I will look at the chat as well. We are 11-9 now, which is awesome. And we've got the Wizards next, 12-9, potentially. I'm not putting that one in the books yet. But it's a really good position to be in, sitting at 11-9. We can see the other statistics here. You can see that the turnovers, as I said, pretty even. Points off turnovers, also pretty even. Fast break points, pretty even. Points in the paint, pretty even as well. So, look, this says it all to me. Largest lead was 7 in this whole game. I don't know how many lead changes there were. Actually, I've got to wait. I'm pretty sure the NBA website actually showed me this. Bullshit, there was 11 lead changes. Absolutely BS. Apparently the game was tied 11 times and there were 11 lead changes. I don't agree with that for a second. Bench points. That's another key stat. 42 bench points to 26. Offensive rebounds. It says team rebounds. I don't know if that's the same as offensive. 10-7 in team rebounds, which is pretty good. Amazingly enough, we weren't leading at any interval except the last quarter. When the game was all said and done, we got the job done. The Hawks led 33-31 at quarter time, 56-53 at the half. Then at 3/4 time, it was 82 to, can't do the math, 81. And then at full time, we win by 1. So, awesome shit. What did you enjoy about today's win? Let me know in the chat. There's quite a few of you still here, which I appreciate. What did you enjoy about the game today? Because there were a couple of things where, good things to like, but at the same time, there were also some takeaways which, you don't really want to be talking about them at all. Trae Young could have just as easily won the game. 100%. The shot was there. He blew it. Potentially was fouled, but I don't think as obvious as, the Hawks were trying to make it. Huge win. Trae Young also blew like a short pull-up, like 10-footer. he had gotten Bridges out of the way, and Bridges was like waving his hands 5 feet away because he'd been beaten. He was off balance. And Dinwiddie was just good enough to get the rebound. It was a good team rebounding effort. That's changed. That is the mantra that's changed across the course of the season. We're now seeing players like Spencer Dinwiddie get big team rebounds when in seasons gone by, we couldn't even get our small forwards and power forwards to box out. So, awesome shit. When is the Paris game? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I don't know what time slot that's going to be either. It'll be an interesting time slot. DFS needs to be more clutch. I think he was clutch outside of the clutch time. Because we needed players to step up without your Dinwiddies and Cam Thomases taking the game over. They were non-existent in the first 3 quarters. So having players like Dennis Smith off the bench, Dorian Finney-Smith get the threes when they were open. Until he missed those 2 threes down the stretch, he was 3 of 4 from 3, 6 of 8 from the field. So some big buckets by him and some good defense. I think that's why they ran with him down the stretch. And I was very much a fan of that decision by JV. So I think JV did very well coaching-wise today. I think some good plays out of timeouts. And, yeah, honestly, like, it was a good performance all round. The fact we'd players step up when others weren't. That is the next man-up mentality personified. Why is that showing on... Yeah. Dumb ads. That's basically everything. I just want to see if we can get like a score. Look at this. Look how tight this game was. You can barely identify one bit of separation. That is probably the biggest patch of the game right there where there was a little bit of separation. And then from then on, there was like a little bit here, but that's barely identifiable. Outside of that, it is just toe-to-toe every single step of the way. And it was like Nets 70%, then Hawks 60%, then like no one ever had a good advantage above like 75% to win this game. You can see as I just go through in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, that was probably the biggest buffer they had. 75% win probability, up 7 in the third. And then it just went back down, and then the Nets had it back, then the Hawks had it back, then the Nets, the Hawks, the Nets, the Hawks, the Nets, the Hawks, the Nets. And that was the only number that mattered. The 100% win probability at the end of the game. I think we have a pretty good team. I wouldn't trade anybody, only Spence. But we can't because of Ben's back. Yeah, I mean, we need that insurance policy in the backcourt. What's your take on Giddey? Are people in Australia disappointed? I don't really see a lot of reports about Giddey in Australia unless he's actually playing. That's like with any country. If someone from your country is playing in, let's say, the NBA, you'll talk about how they had like a 30-point triple-double, but you won't say anything else. That's the only coverage I see. I don't see any coverage outside of that except on social media, which is obviously universal and worldwide. So you don't really see it. I don't really see like people on the street talking about it, you know? And I don't really have too many people I talk basketball with in Australia. This is part of the reason I do this, because I can talk with you lot and there is a common interest there. There's not really any Nets fans over here. So as much as I have basketball people I talk with, like, it's not that much dialogue. Paris game is January 11, 2024. I'm excited for that. Really excited. I don't know what time it's going to be. Actually, let's do a quick check. If you are leaving now, make sure to show your support on the way out and subscribe. I do appreciate you all rocking up. Obviously, more people are inclined to rock up when the going gets tough and the game tightens up and game winners are ready, like they're loading. Here we go. Cavaliers Nets is at 6 a.m. Oh, shit. Do I wake up for the Paris game? I don't know if I do. And that's going to be a week where we have of fucking course, man. There's going to be a period of time I'm not able to stream. And of course, like the week before I go, we only play like one game in 6 days. Fuck that, man. I miss like the whole like West Coast, like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I missed like a West Coast away run against the Clippers, the Lakers, the Blazers. That sucks. Is there any more news on Giddy today? Storm in a teacup, if you ask me. Yeah, there's nothing really. It's all speculation at the moment, I guess. Sounds like this girl is out for money now. I think they'll end up settling out of court since she refuses to cooperate. Usually that all just happens, and I think athletes aren't going to get held accountable, I don't think. We saw it with Bridges as well, Miles Bridges. Like, he's done all this shit off the court, and the accountability just doesn't exist. Dayron is growing a little bit year after year. Vaughn trusts him. Also in tonight's minutes, he did run with him a little bit later than I think a lot of people would have anticipated, but he held up well, and I think that is another great thing to have. Claxton, like, some games he's not going to be good matchup-wise. Sometimes he'll just be out of it. Sometimes the shot won't fall. Sometimes he's just going to get bodied a little bit more. But we've now got a reliable backup center who can hold his own on the glass, and he's an offensive threat. And he complements the other players on the court that he's with, that bench unit, very, very well. So yeah, I mean, it's great to see. Great to see, man, that we've gotten the win. Okay, so I've got another stat for you. Also, Long Island, the G League affiliate, won by 1, so there just must be something in the air. Mikal Bridges in his last 7 games is averaging 29 points a game. That's cherry picking, obviously, but I mean, like, that's a great stat to take away as well. I did say in my preview that he would start slow and then just things would normalize, and we're seeing that now. We had 43 lead changes in this game. 43. That is the most in NBA history since the record was tracked, or that stat was tracked. I mean, yeah, it's awesome shit. Awesome shit. Paris will be on ESPN, so yeah, maybe I won't need to do that. They get away with a lot, even if they're black. Money talks. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. It's just, if you got enough money, you can probably finesse your way out of it. But yeah, so that's gonna do it. Quality shit by this team. I mean, we forced the most difficult shot that Trae could have asked for in the last possession. I just find it baffling that Dinwiddie, Thomas, and Claxton shot so badly, played that many minutes, and we still won. We found a way. I can't ask for much more. This team continues to surprise, continues to potentially exceed expectations. I don't know if this was the expectation going in, but I mean, it's really good to see the results showing. Standings as well. I mean, I'll have a quick check and see where the standings lie. Looks like the Heat won, the Cavaliers won, so we remain in 9th, but now we have a 2-game cushion on 10th, which were the Hawks before today. We were only 1 game separated by them, but now it's 2, and we are well in touch with 5th. Like, we're 1 game away from the 5 seed, so a lot can change, especially with the standings being this tight, but awesome stream. Bridges killing him. 43 lead changes. Yeah, crazy back and forth sort of game, to and fro. They hired an attorney to deal with slander and false stories in the media, not against Giddy. Yeah, I can see why attorneys hide for that sort of stuff. I feel like it'd be a hell of a lot more common with specific high profile cases that obviously we see now these days. Hopefully your boy Simmons returns soon. Well, if he does return, I don't know who the fuck is going to lose their minutes. Because Dennis played well today, really well. Finney Smith played well. O'Neal maybe would be the guy to drop off, but still very tough on him. And then Dayron's played some high quality minutes, so maybe Ben is the small ball 5, but I don't know what's going to happen with Ben. It's a really tough one to gauge. But look, I'm going to wrap this one up here. It's been awesome. Obviously, close wins are far better than close losses. It's like two ends of the spectrum. You go from completely depressed to being completely top of the world. And that's how I'm feeling right now. Australia has a lot of great players. I mean, not great, but decent talent. Decent talent. Yeah. It's just been awesome to see this team sort of recover. I think we were 6 of 8 or 6 and 8 at one stage, but I think we've won 5 of our last 6, and the only loss in this stretch, this 6-game run, was against the Hornets by 1. And obviously the Wizards to come, we could be 6 and 1 in our last 7, which it would be awesome to see that come to fruition. But you know what? I mean, this is probably going to wrap things up. Obviously a great game. We said there were 43 lead changes in this one. I mean, that summarizes it. It was crazy. So, yeah. That's going to do it. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the chat messages. Thanks for the engagement and the support as always. I mean, the stream is nothing if there's no one to talk to. And, you know, we can all share in our suffering, our joy. It's great to see. Great to see what sport can do. So that'll do it. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to stay safe. We'll be back in 48 hours. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to hang around and be a part of the journey, make sure to do so. And like the stream on your way out. It's really that simple set of instructions if you'd like to do them. But yeah, and there's a donation button if you feel like a donation is worthwhile. Thanks, everyone. We've seen a few new people in chat as well, so that's awesome to see. Obviously, trying to expand the horizons. So the more people we can get in this chat on a regular basis, the better. It's going to be good fun. But yeah, thank you. Have a good one, everyone, and stay safe. Be good, and yeah, go Nets.